1,400 days of working out every single day.
This stuff makes sense in my brain. I can make this work. I can keep doing this. And the last day I missed was December 26, 2021. It's typically just like showing up to something is the hardest part. So our goal is we need to be at the gym at 5 a.m. Every time we leave the gym, I take your shoes, you take my shoes.
Juice only wears one pair of shoes. Your initial metric was like you sweated all the way through your shirt.
Sweaty Krone.
That
just lives in his head, bro.
Dude, anytime I did cardio before, I thought the goal was like to break the machine. I was like, I like reading during cardio. I think it's like a really simple time to do it. Sometimes I won't wear headphones and I'll just think. Like if you're just
Raw dog in the cardio.
Yeah, give without expectation of reciprocation, authentically your personality. Whereas if like
I hope so, bro. Could you imagine if I was faking it? How much
That's what I'm
effort
saying.
that would be?
Yeah, I always think whatever I'm doing is going to work.
What is 3, 4, 5?
3 words, 4 words, 5 words. I always struggled.
Welcome back to another episode of Game Plan the Podcast. I'm your host, Davis Cole, joined as always by our producer, Juice.
Hi.
Today's guest is me and Juice's wrestling coach at Fight Factory. He's also an entrepreneur. Please welcome to the show, Brandon Krone.
Have you guys heard of Nero?
Nero?
The gum or the mints? Gum or mints?
I don't think
I actually have been hit with an ad.
I just... I love that, dude.
Yeah, dude. They'll shake the baby.
We should finish with that too. There's caffeine in it, but there's a 40 mg version and a 100 mg version, and it's gnarly.
Yeah, I feel like the absorption matters a ton, right? Like if it's like a gum and you're absorbing it through your mouth,
Yeah,
it's gonna hit like a lot different than like, I don't know, your small intestine,
it
depending on what's in your stomach.
yeah, it's maxing in the face. Like I had
Yeah,
people, I had people who came into my office. My friend Matt, you know Matt Orgas. I think you do too.
yeah. Oh, sure.
Big dude. I always say he looks like.
I've never met him, but we've
You should.
spoke.
He's a
on-
good
Yeah,
dude.
he's super fucking cool.
Yeah.
He's very good at like cultivating a conversation, like no matter who it is.
Nice.
Like if I was uncomfortable and I was like, I gotta go to this event, and
Matt, come through.
yeah, I'd be like, dude, please come. Just
Shout out, Matt.
Like keep. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
Be my plus one.
keep a conversation going because he is really good. He looks like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy.
He does.
He's the one that I told you he identified. Shout out, Matt. He identified the oh boy from Game Plan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I can 100% guarantee that that's oh boy.
Huh.
And I was like, I don't know, oh boy, but I hope we haven't made any enemies.
We'll keep it a secret for now.
Yeah.
It's not
They'll
hard to
never know.
figure it out at all.
They'll never know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
What did you do? What did you guys do yesterday for Thanksgiving? What did you do yesterday?
I went to the Tacketts.
Oh, nice. So you
Yeah.
had like a wholesome family Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that it was gonna be his whole family and Jasmine's at first. I thought it was like a Friendsgiving that we were throwing down on. And I'm glad. I was asking if I should bring the dogs. And I was like, hey man, I'm just gonna leave them outside. It's like it's such a nice day, but if I come over
Yeah.
there and I'm there for several hours, like I want them to be able to be out and about. And he asked Jazz, but he's like, we have like 17 people coming. I was like, oh,
Damn.
more than I thought. All right. It's like,
Yeah.
got to get my social battery charged up.
Bro, just bring Matt.
Yeah, right. But I ended up, I was like, I probably should change. I was wearing like a level black sweats and a Supreme hoodie, like it's just cozied
Let's
up.
go.
It's like probably should wear some
Dude, that is
comfy sweaters.
100% the Tackett uniform. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
got
you wouldn't be
there.
out of place at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I would have felt good. But I changed. It was good though. Super wholesome. Like his whole family was there. Jasmine's parents were there. Her aunt. Cody was there. Nora was there. Stu.
Brother Stu.
Daisha. Brother Stu. It was good, man. But we just hung out. They like had just killed an elk. I think he like pulled it right off his truck.
Yeah.
It was really good. It's like the best elk I've had. And I'm just scooting home after that.
Yeah, we had William on. I don't know if Stu went on 3 total elk hunts, but him and William went on one, and
Yeah.
then he went on another one. And I was super stoked for him when he posted the elk because, like, when William told us the story, like they worked hard to get nothing on
Yeah.
that first trip, and it's like that's a whole nother drive to like
Type 2.
Wyoming or whatever.
Type 2 fun.
Yeah, for sure. What'd you do yesterday, Juice?
Type 2 fun.
Yesterday it was Thanksgiving with the folks, with my ladies' folks. My parents retired and moved out to the Philippines.
Nice.
So they have been gone since like February, like March, April
Oh,
ish.
recent.
Yeah, March, April-ish this year, and they've been gone this whole time. They're coming back December after Christmas, before New Year's, so that'll be cool. But yeah, spent Thanksgiving at home. I spatchcocked my first turkey last night.
Do tell. What the fuck is a spatchcock?
Y'all fuck with the spatchcock?
Yeah.
I
You
think I've
fuck with
heard
a
this
spatchcock?
before.
Yeah,
Spatchcock
so
helps it cook more evenly.
yeah, instead of putting a whole bird in like a straight up butterball mode into the oven, right? Seasoned and rubbed down and all that. You take it, you cut down, and you rip out its spine. And then you take it, open it up, invert it, and then you just like,
Give it CPR.
yeah, crack that shit open.
I love that you made that like so much more graphic. If you like watch a cooking show, it's like cut, push, and
Yeah.
ripped it out, flipped it.
Fucking spread it right
Killed it.
open.
You just straight up, flip it and reverse it. Good to go. Flatten it out. And honestly, like no bullshit. And not just because I was the one that made it or my lady and I, but that was definitely like top 5 turkey I've ever had. I'm not even a big
Seriously?
fan of turkey.
Yeah, I'm not a turkey guy.
I would always much rather prefer to do like a Thanksgiving brisket, and I have done that in the past multiple times. But yeah, the shit was pretty good. I'm not mad. It was really nice.
We did like deep fried peanut oil for the turkey at the
Ooh, yeah.
ranch. It's so good, dude.
Did you do the
Those
big?
last few minutes, it starts smelling like Chick-fil-A out there.
Mhm.
It was so good.
You dropped it in the cauldron with a hook.
My brother did. Yeah.
I always see horror stories.
Bombs,
Of those.
yeah.
Yeah.
We were concerned, but like he did everything right. He's done it for a couple Thanksgivings over the last few years, and like we had it in the yard on like a concrete slab with nothing around it. So
Yeah.
if it did catch fire, it would be relatively safe.
Some sort of safety measure.
Yeah.
It's
Now
very
I'm realizing that I was gonna say like, oh, we had water hoses,
Yeah.
but like that
That
would
would
not
help.
help anything.
Great
It
plan.
would just turn into a fucking inferno.
Would've been awesome.
Did y'all spill over at all?
I don't think so. I think they had it pretty well like planned out. I mean, they've done it in the same like burner, same pot a couple years, so I think they got it down pretty well.
When you first started, you said that y'all had deep fried peanut oil, and I was like, sounds good.
Like that's
Yum.
That's just it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, dude, it was good. We had like my entire family out there, so it's like
Out at
17-ish people.
Yeah.
C7 Ranch.
Haven't even done the count for it.
It's cool, man. It's a big crew.
Yeah, like I mean,
Shout out to this
8-year-old,
mug, by the way.
7-year-old, 5-year-old.
Whose mug is this?
Infant.
Sorry.
Oh, that would definitely be Julia's.
I'll trade you. How much coffee you have left?
Not much.
Yeah. same
Shout out,
Sorry.
shout out to Dynamic Sports Medicine for trying to fix my neck when I broke it.
Tried. Apparently, they were
Did not
unsuccessful.
work. No, yeah, I don't.
thing. Grayson needs that. I feel like his neck's always hurt.
Yeah.
He needs the same shit I need, dude. Bigger back.
That's why whenever
Come lift with us. Let's go.
exactly whenever I like want to take time off or like I feel away, like my body's telling me something, I'm like, I'm gonna just listen to it because I look at y'all fucks that have been not you, but you, Grayson, Sean.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
know?
because we have some other hobbies too, though. But it's a matter of like lifestyle versus hobby at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I was wrestling, it's different. Like,
Yeah.
I have to,
Mm-hmm.
especially like while I was actually competing. But now, it's like I haven't trained since March. I forgot when the initial when did William initially compete? UFC BJJ
Like
2.
May.
Yeah.
Or no, UFC. Well, he did Fight Pass 11, and that was I think like May, and then like UFC BJJ started right after that in like
So it was-
June or something like that.
It was around that time. That was like one of the last times I actually trained jits. And then I did last time I went to ATH a few weeks ago. But even then I just like kind of played light.
Because of your shoulder?
shoulder for the longest time, and then yeah, now ankle. I feel good with my shoulder.
You know, maybe that's your problem. Maybe you should just never go light, because whenever you go light, that's when the injuries
Dude,
happen
facts.
for you.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's so true. But also, I feel like I'm not so much bigger than everybody, but it makes me nervous to just like turn up the juice,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
if I did hurt somebody, it's
It
like,
would make
okay,
me
well,
nervous too.
yeah, I'm 40 pounds bigger than William
Yeah.
or 35 pounds bigger than him. And he's obviously very in control of most scenarios, but I'm also unorthodox compared to what he's used to.
Mhm.
As far as like, I don't have a jiu-jitsu background. So if I respond, like when you have somebody who responds unique that you're
In
not
ways that you
waiting
don't
for,
expect. Yeah.
yeah, that's typically when I feel like I would get hurt if I'm training or working with somebody in wrestling. I'm like, why would you roll that way? Like,
Yeah,
you're gonna
for
break
sure.
your neck.
For sure.
So maybe I should though, just worry about myself more, turn it up.
Dude, Rodrigo gave me that advice, like from being injured and like trying to go light and just constantly getting hurt. And he was like, bro, if you're hurt, just crush them.
Yeah.
Go as hard as you can and control the entire thing, because
That's
then
smart.
you know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Because if you try to go light, then they might react weird, and then all of a sudden you're getting hurt again.
I
Which I
Yes.
can only do that to so many people, but
yeah.
it does help.
The psychology of it makes sense too, though. Like we were talking about this yesterday at Thanksgiving, but you like find what you seek, right? So like if I'm being light because I'm trying to avoid getting hurt, I'm thinking about avoiding getting hurt, and you're probably more likely to like find that feeling or reason to do so. Whereas if I'm just like, I'm gonna fuck shit up and just going ham the whole time, I feel like you'd be better off.
Oh, for sure, dude. I started doing physical therapy with a legit physical therapist a few months ago. And I feel
Dynamic.
like no, different guy. But one of the biggest things that he kind of worked through with me was like giving me that confidence back.
Yeah.
And be like, go hard, you're gonna be fine. Like your neck's not going to break.
Yeah.
And I think I was definitely going into like every training session with just so much concern, like, oh, what if today's the day that someone cranks on my neck weird and it sends it too far and I can't keep
Yeah.
training. And then ever since then I was like, all right, just trust my body and it'll be fine, and tweak little things and injure it again. But like for the most part,
Make it stronger.
trusting myself made it work a lot better. Hey, we missed claps. Need to get some claps.
Yeah, let's get some claps. This just one clap each. Just help later on sync.
What are we
Put the
clapping?
dynamic down. Perfect.
Yeah. There you go.
Tight.
What are the claps for?
It helps me sync up audio
Mm.
in post
Nice.
because I'm recording separately from these cameras.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now these are totally just its own track. Those are its own track. So he's got to sync them up.
Nice. Good call on the claps.
Yeah.
Dude, so a lot of the stuff I wanted to talk about today, I feel like we hashed out a little bit when we were in Vegas, like in the hotel room, and just like kind of
We did have some
We did. I know there was so much of that I wish we would have,
lots of wings.
written down all of the things we're talking about. But I guess we could kind of start with just like your wrestling background and how you got into being an athlete.
Sure.
But then I think one of the coolest things you've done is this, like, what did you say, 1,400 days of working out every single day?
Yeah, it's in the 1400s. I don't know what day it is right now since the last day I missed, but as far as getting started, I don't know, man. I remember like the first encounter I had with wrestling. It was actually a joke. Like we went to this practice and it was like a bunch of high schoolers impressing their girlfriends, and it was like kind of just this makeshift shitty practice, and I think my parents hated it. But it was fun for us. And that was, I think I had been 4 or 5. And then we actually parted with it for a while, but we had some second cousins who were really good. I think they both wrestled at Augsburg, but I think that was the big push. Like my dad wasn't a big athlete. Mom wasn't. They were pretty much kids when they had kids. And so it was just like, let these guys try something out. But the biggest thing was wrestling is a very cheap sport to participate in. Like, you need a pair of shoes, which usually you can pick up from Lost and Found. And then if you don't have a singlet or some of the other stuff, you can wear shorts and a t-shirt, snag some headgear. Cheap sport to participate in. And then as far as going to tournaments or meets, I think it's like $10, $20 to be able to jump in.
Man, that's way better than
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. Jesus.
Yeah, you play like hockey or something.
God.
You're spending thousands. But it wasn't. I don't know. I found a lot of like joy in doing it. It was like a good release. It was a way for me to be creative for a really long time. We always had like a lot of things that changed. We moved all the time. A lot of stuff felt inconsistent, but like practice was cool. I was like, this stuff makes sense in my brain. I can make this work. I can keep doing this. And it got to a point where like I had coaches who I think saw that in me to a pretty good degree. And it was things where like, if I couldn't pay for it, they're like, just show up. Like, just go to this. We'll figure it out. We'll find somebody to pay for it. Go do it. Whatever it is, practices, stuff for the season, gear, which made me want to keep doing it. Right. Like, you guys are cool for that. But then as far as like the mentality or that transitioning to what I'm doing now, I think it's just normal, or it feels normal. I like working out every day. I get upset if I don't. Like if I were to be waiting and it was like 9 p.m., I'd be like, idiot. Like, let's go.
Did this start from anything like a 75 hard type program?
No. It's a good question though. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
People bring up 75 harder every time it comes around. I'm like, I'm on like, dude, 1400 hard, you know? I can do this every day. I like 75 hard, 75 day hard. What do you call it?
I think just 75 hard. Yeah.
So
Inadequate.
yeah, I like it.
Just kidding.
I think it's a great idea. I think the tough thing is it's like so extreme for people that the moment you get to that day, right? It's like you made 75 days.
You're like, and then you just fall off.
Yeah, people are
kinda.
like, great. Now like I did it and now I can celebrate. But like the idea of you should just make like a one day, but then one day is every day. So it's like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow.
And then it's just daily.
Yeah. So
Right.
then just like having that same routine, I like the idea of it for building a lot of those habits. Like I forget all the components to it, but like reading a little bit every day, right? I forget like tracking meals,
Something about
run.
no drinking.
Yeah, I think no. There's like a gratitude portion. I think pretty much no drugs.
I think there was like
Pretty much.
I think there was
I don't know
like
if they say
workout.
caffeine or
Shrooms fit. That's not.
It was like workout twice, one of them outside or something like that.
Yeah. And I think that's
I
something
like
that
that.
a lot
That's
of people
cool.
struggle with.
Yeah, get some sunshine in your eyes. I mean,
Yeah, so it just says follow a diet. So I don't think it's like super strict, but just like stick with something consistently.
yeah,
2 45-minute workouts each day, one
Solid.
outdoors, 1 gallon of water a day,
that's a good one.
10 pages of a nonfiction book each day.
Yeah.
And audiobooks are not permitted. And then they also say take a progress picture every day, which I think that would be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Just remembering to do it.
I'm like tough. I feel like that's the easiest one.
That's it. I do that anyways. No, I feel like all that stuff's really good. Like the 10 pages a day, I feel like is awesome. You'll see that or hear it in a lot of different like books or podcasts because it builds a good discipline of like just pick it up and do it. There's like the idea that it's typically just like showing up to something is the hardest part. Like there's been times where I've shown up to the gym and I'm like sitting in the parking lot and I'm like, fuck. And like talking myself into going for like 30 minutes and I'm like, let's go. You got this. You got like talking myself into it. But then once I'm in the gym, everything feels great. But I think that's like the best part of it. It's like the times where things really suck and you just really don't want to do it. Or if like I worked all day, I had like so many things that I had to expend my energy on. And then I have to like go work hard on this. Cause it sucks if you go and you're like half-assing it. Like I don't want to like go and be like, all right, I'm just going to get through this. It's like, no, I want to go fuck this lift up.
It's like
Whatever
I'm
the
here. I
workout
may
is.
as well make it count,
Yeah.
right?
So normally those days end up being like the best ones, but it's just a matter of like that ramp up of like, I need to talk myself into this for the next however long, and then I feel good.
What do you use as like a metric for what's a workout, right? Like 75 hard saying 45 minutes. I remember you saying your initial
Yeah.
metric was like you sweated all the way through your shirt.
Yeah. Good memory.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
changed.
that just lives in his head, bro. It's just
That's-
Krone, just like sweaty Krone.
It's I hope that's not it. But if it is, That's changed. It used to be like that. So like I had a long running streak for a while, and the last day I missed was December 26th. So
What year?
2021. And it's because I got caught in a blizzard driving home from Minnesota. I was with both of the pups in the back of my car, and we literally like snuggled up in a blanket. And then I had a jacket around me, and I like literally curled us all up in a ball. And I told this story the other day, and I was like, dude, honestly, thinking about it now, I could have probably done like abs or something in the back of the car. But it was so cold that like I need to bundle up. And it was like, I don't remember what time it was, but I would shoot for 11 p.m. to like 3 a.m. I don't remember the exact time, but I left late at night from Christmas to start driving back to Texas. But as far as like what classifies a workout, it used to be that, because the goal is like I want to sit in here and work out until I sweat through my outfit, right? So like I can't leave the gym, or I can't leave whatever the exercise is until I've sweat through like my sweatpants. And that got really daunting really quick, because there would be days where like I would work all day and then I was crushing like 300 mgs of caffeine at like 10 p.m. And dude, I would like not have the motivation to like ramp up. So like 30 minutes in, I'm like barely dribbling sweat. Let's get some more caffeine. Like, start ripping more caffeine or do whatever I could just to like, I gotta go. And I literally would like every time try to figure out a way to get everything or sweat through everything. But I felt like I was doing less for myself. Like I was hurting myself more than I was benefiting myself from doing that.
For sure.
Because I wasn't sleeping as much. I wasn't getting good recovery. Like I was just kind of beating myself up. So it's changed to just an intentional workout. So like if I just have it, like it could just be shoulders. Like I'll do cardio for 30 minutes, get a sweat going, and then I'll do like very intentional shoulder exercises. But shoulders could take me 25 to 35 minutes. But if I'm doing 6-7 exercises that are all isolated or focused on one muscle group, and I'm like, that was a very intentional exercise. Sometimes I just do push-ups until I can't do any more push-ups, pull-ups. Like there's times where if I don't want to go to the gym, I'll make something work, but it just has to be intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of fits like the definition of exercise, right? Like you have like movement and like, like whatever. Like no, seriously, there's a difference between going on a walk, or well, I mean, even a walk could be exercise, but exercise has some constraint to it of like I'm going to intentionally do this for time, distance, reps, sets, something like that.
I totally agree, because I would even do that. So like there was times where like if I was doing cardio, where like if I was hurt, it was like a really tough lesson to try to teach myself, because I would literally get upset, or I'd be like, I'm like a piece of shit. I'd be like, I'm not doing anything today. But like the most I could do would be like walk. Like I feel like this is not it. And I would like get upset or flustered going to bed, and I would like
It's not
literally roll out of bed and like start doing push-ups and be like, I have to do 500 push-ups before I fall asleep because I didn't do enough today. I swear to God. And then, but to your point, like I'd be like, if I do a 3-mile walk on an incline, like this is something I learned from the last girl I was dating. Dude, anytime I did cardio before, I thought the goal was like to break the machine. I was like, I just want to like wrench through this thing as hard as I can, look like a serial killer in the gym. But like, if you just zone out and you're just cranking on a machine, it's goes quick. And like you get to this, I don't know, mental state where you can just like keep going. It's like, it's not going to get any worse. Just keep the rhythm moving. But yeah, doing some nice cardio party and doing like 30 minutes incline walk, zone 2, keeping my heart rate around 145. Like that's a workout. You don't have to break anything. You don't have to get crazy.
What are you doing while you're doing cardio? I imagine incline, headphones,
Sometimes.
music, pod, game plan, YouTube.
Sure. Game plan. All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends. So if I'm like in the middle of a podcast or something, I'll throw a podcast back on. I'll read a lot. If I like, if I start to get too sweaty, I'll stop reading. But I like reading during cardio. I think it's like a really simple time to do it. Sometimes I won't wear headphones and I'll just think. Like if you're just
raw dog in the cardio.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're just sitting on an incline and just like what do I have to work on? What did I work on already this week? Like, what am I trying to get better on? It's a great 30 minutes or
Yeah.
however long you do cardio for, just to be like, kind of organize your brain a little bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Whenever you read, are you on your phone or is it like a straight up paperback, just sweating all over?
Paperback, baby.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You'll be on like a treadmill with a paperback?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I read off my phone. I only have one book that I'm reading on my phone right now, and I've kind of curbed it. But yeah, usually it's paper. Bike, treadmill. Bike's nice. You jump on a bike with a book, except you're just dripping right into that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't imagine being around paper when I'm working out. Once I break that sweat, dude, I'm just such a heavy sweater. Like I'd be destroying the book.
Heavy sweater. Yeah, I would do it even in the sauna, but it's like the book I'm finishing right now. It's from like the '60s, so it already looks beat. So like it's his character, dude. It already looks like a good book. So a little bit of wet, crumbly pages, I don't think that's it too much.
So going back a little bit, when you were talking about wrestling as a kid, was that all in Minnesota?
Yeah, for the most part. There was like a short stint where we moved to Florida. This is like a wild time. I guess I really didn't have to experience it too much, but it was like during '08. So like we moved to Florida. Family was basically homeless. I say that with a grain of salt because I guess we had like family or people that we could stay with. But moved to Florida. Things were good. Had a nice setup there. School we went to was kind of unique. It was like a university style where like everything was a campus outside, and that was new to me, but I did like it. Um, but dude, it was so much fun. Like going from Minnesota and wrestling there and then wrestling in Florida, I was like, I'm the fucking man, baby. Let's go.
How old were you at that time?
12 or 13.
So you had already spent a couple years wrestling in Minnesota, and
Yeah.
would you say like the scene there was a lot more developed than in Florida?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
This is why like some of the people I work with here, like little Alexei, like him going up to Iowa for that tournament, I was like, from a technical standpoint, it's very different. I was like, it's going to be very effort based on your part, right? Like you're going to have to show up with some effort because technically up there, like that's a sport that is big. Put a lot of time and effort into wrestling where I don't think it's as prominent here. But yeah, going from the north to the south was a fun transition. Real fun transition.
And then you ended up wrestling for Minnesota just a few years after that. Were you back in Minnesota before you went to school?
Yeah. So we only lived in Florida for a short stint. So like shit hit the fan in '08. And family basically like made the decision of, do we want to be with nothing in Florida? And then we had my grandparents there. Do we want to be with nothing in Minnesota or at least have more family? So we moved back to Minnesota, and then it was good on me. I had like a lot of people that I suppose supported me, and that's a whole like long story in itself. But like I had people who basically took me in and were like, you can stay with us, we'll, like help you out with whatever you need. They're great influences on my life. But then ramped up, started wrestling when I got back, and didn't really skip a beat. But it was a great like step up in confidence, right? Like if you go somewhere and you're like the best person, right, for a year, I came back and I like had a lot of confidence in things that I didn't know worked for me before. So being able to like just hit those reps and being able to confidently do this over and over and over again and then come back, it was helpful. I feel like it played a good impact on me being able to wrestle at a higher level.
And then did you get picked up by Minnesota while you were still wrestling in high school?
Yeah, I told a story yesterday. I didn't know I was going to wrestle in college until like the end of my senior year. So I did good in high school. I would chalk myself up as smarter than I look. You know, so I had a full ride academically. I don't remember when I secured it. I don't remember if it was the end of my junior year or maybe like the middle of my senior year. But I could go anywhere I wanted, right? On a full ride for, I forget. I think you could even extend my period, and then I could have gone to get my master's. Like, it was a crazy scholarship. And I like had intentions of going to Augsburg, which is where Lucas and Rich, who are cousins of mine, that's where they went. And they're big influences. Like, I looked up to them. I thought they were great people then. I think they're great people now. And they're just like dogs of humans. I wish I knew the story. I can show you on my phone, but I think Lucas just did like, I don't know how many miles of steps he's done this year, but like, if you guys think I'm a freak, he's a freak. He's a menace.
Does he read paperbacks though?
He probably
While
reads
doing it.
He probably, yeah, at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the top. But my senior year, we hosted Freestyle Greco, or we hosted Freestyle State and Greco State at my high school. And I was like, there's no reason for me not to participate in this. So I did. And it was like more so for fun. I don't even think I cut weight. Maybe I did. I can't remember what weight I went. I think I went like 170. But did it for fun. Had a lot of fun. I think I won Greco pretty handedly, which Greco is not my background, but it was like just had a good time. And then freestyle, I ended up losing in the finals to, I forget the kid's name. I think he ended up wrestling at South Dakota State. But it was such a fun match. Like, I think the score was like 22-24, 23-24, which I don't know how familiar you guys are with like wrestling scoring, but you normally don't see like 40 plus points on the board ever. So like this kid and I were just scrambling, like just high flying on everything, but it was just like foot on the gas the whole time. It's probably one of like the most fun wrestling matches I've ever had. And after that, Jason Ness, who NCAA champ from Minnesota, like great icon of Minnesota wrestling, he came up to me after and he was like, what are your plans? Like, do you plan on wrestling? Have you spoke to Minnesota? Have you visited Minnesota? And I was like, nope, but I like you. I was like, I like where this is going. So I think I was one of the last people to be put on the Minnesota roster before the 2014-2015 season. And then, yeah, that was how I got picked up.
Real quick, could you explain the difference between freestyle and Greco wrestling?
Oh my God, thank you.
Well, so
Yeah.
folk style, freestyle, Greco.
Okay. So we got the three main types of wrestling that we would use in the US, or
Yeah.
youth competitions are going to be those three.
Folk style is like youth. Folk style is more US focused.
Okay.
Freestyle is more international. So I would say the biggest difference with those two, there's scoring differences, but one of the biggest differences is, I would say, top bottom. So like in collegiate, or folk style wrestling is collegiate, the goal is to keep them down, right? In freestyle, Greco, like you have moments to turn people. And if you're good on top in freestyle and Greco, you usually can finish matches out quicker. But a lot of people like wrestling on their feet. So like if you're good on your feet, you probably have a higher advantage or better in those spaces, in my opinion. But folk style, scoring is a little bit different. That's the collegiate style. Goal is you good on your feet, you can ride, you have to get away. Freestyle and Greco, they want more action. So like if you're on the mat, they'll give you 10, 15 seconds. And if there's no turns, they stand you back up. And if you get away, there's no points earned. So there's like no incentive to get off the mat. It's just don't get turned, wait for this person to not turn me, and I get to get put back on my feet. But freestyle, I can attack the whole body. Greco, I'm just attacking upper body. So I can't touch legs. I can't use my legs to get a takedown. If I do, I get a fall.
So no single leg, no double leg,
Not in Greco. No.
no inside outside trips.
It's all upper body. Think of who's somebody always keeps yelling. Forget the Russian dude's name. But yeah, all upper body. All your throws.
So just like lat drops and hip throws, and
Headlocks, hip
and
throws,
stuff.
arm spins, arm throws. You can do a high dive. That's kind of like a double, blast double, attacking at the hips, but can't touch legs.
Is a high dive a blast double, or is it like a blast double?
Like a.
Okay.
So you can't touch the legs, but say like I level change and I shoot into you, my hands can't be below your butt cheeks But like if I shoot them up around your hips, I can
Got it.
shoot up and in, and then I get to control you at the hips and try to work from there. Or I can just come to double unders, try to get to a good position.
So when you were wrestling as a kid, which rule set were you competing in, like in before high school or at high school level?
Folk style and freestyle. Mostly folk style. I liked folk style the most. The primary reason I was able to wrestle Division 1 is because I was good on top. So that was kind of my jam. Freestyle I would do just for mat time. So like they wanted us to wrestle in the off season, and I would just go to bebop.
You said folk style is the like standard collegiate
Yeah.
one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what would be Olympic wrestling? What rule set are they going to go?
Freestyle Greco.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so did you have to move to go to the, what is it, University of Minnesota?
Yeah, I did.
And where's that?
Minneapolis.
So what was it like at 18 going to Minneapolis? Were you already there before, or did you guys live outside the city?
We lived outside the city, not far. So like we're 25, 30 minutes north. But I never really spent much time in the city, so it's definitely different. I would say I was relatively mature, but I think from like I brought this up a lot, but like from a confidence standpoint, I don't think I was mature, which in part was more so just surrounding and like people I was trying to be like. But it was cool. I mean, campus is pretty. The experience was nice. Being like one of the last people to be put on the team is a funny story. I feel bad about it. I should apologize to this kid at some point. Being one of the last people to like be put on the roster, there was 5 people who weren't in like the main dorm, right? So like the overflow got put into the old athlete dorm, and I was like, dude, I want to be in the nice one, the new one, right? My scholarship paid for it. So I was like, even more so. I don't want, like, I may as well, milk this thing while I got it.
For sure.
And I hated my roommate. And I now probably could have handled things differently. But at the time, I just felt like this person was very much so a know-it-all. And I just don't care for that, right? Like it was just their personality. They weren't doing it to be, I don't know, mean, but it would piss me off. And then I'm very, very particular OCD with my things, right? When you don't grow up with a lot, you're very particular about what you do have, right? It's like, these are my things. I'm protective of my things. And I would like come back if my stuff was messed with or anything. I remember, I forgot what I exactly said. I think I texted it to my coach, Becker, where I was just like, I told him I was going to like rip him out of bed and throw him on the floor every morning until I didn't have to live with him because his dorm was elevated. And he's like, all right, we'll get you out of there. But I like made a big deal out of it. Cause I was like, dude, I can't live with this kid. I'm going to end up getting myself in trouble.
What was he doing though? What was he doing to your things?
Dude, like nothing. But I'm just like so particular that like if somebody was touching my stuff, I would like purposely set things a certain way to know if somebody was like using them or moving them, right? So like I would put this here, right? Like handle parallel to the edge. I'd be like, you motherfucker, stop touching my shit, right? Like get your own, use your own stuff, right? So it'd just be little things. And there's a quote I really like.
Dig in the air.
That is a good one. If people are from Minnesota, they'll know what that is. I think it's so funny that you remember that. But no, it's unspoken expectations lead to premeditated resentments. And it was something where I didn't have the confidence or at least the know-how to be able to just say, hey, I am this way and I know I am particular in this way. Don't fucking do this, right? But I didn't. So then you just let things fester. So it'd be like, this is bothering me, but I'm not saying anything.
I fuck with that.
I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, that's on me to a degree because he didn't know until he did.
Have you gotten better about speaking your expectations?
Dude, I'm phenomenal at speaking my
Hell
expectations.
yeah. Let's go.
I'm like the most transparent person ever. Yeah. I'm a very big fan of saying exactly what I'm thinking when I'm thinking it. And I've been talking about this a lot lately. Like I hate being in an experience where I'm uncomfortable, and I could use like right now, right? Like if I didn't like you guys or I didn't like how this
Fuck
was
y'all.
going, well, think about it. Like if I didn't like being in here, I could be respectful and I could sit here for the next hour and a half and speak with you guys and answer your questions and do whatever you wanted and just be uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah.
And then I could leave. And then I got in my car and I left to be like,
Fuck these guys.
why the fuck didn't you get up and leave? Right. So I get to go through this gruesome period for however long. Whereas I've gotten so good at like, if I feel this way within the first thought of it, I'm like, I'm cool. I'm going to leave. And like the 30 seconds of the experience and being you guys being like, wait, what's happening? Is he really getting up and leaving? I'm going to be like, this is a little weird, right? I can feel the tension, but
I'm going to go and I'll save
Yeah.
myself an hour and a half
Dude.
of some that I really don't need.
invigorating.
Yeah.
The moment I like get out of whatever setting it is, I'm like, feel good, baby. Like that was good. I'm glad I got out. But it's very, very particular with my time and thought, and it's been helpful. Pisses people off sometimes, but
What was the last time you did something like that? That you just like either you use like excusing yourself as an
Yeah.
example, but like it could be anything, right?
I don't know. Because now I just don't go to things I know I'm not gonna like.
Mm.
And I think that's one
Like traffic.
Say that again.
Like traffic.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't get in traffic. No, just honk and flick people off. Yeah, I try to avoid getting into scenarios that I like know I'm not going to be comfortable, right? Like I know I don't like going to the bars. I don't want to go be somewhere at 11 p.m. at night. And if like somebody asked me, I'm like, no. But before I would, and then even then, like if I felt uncomfortable, I'd kind of excuse myself. But that one's on me because I made the choice to go. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really like have a lot of those. I like the people I spend time
That's
with.
probably for the better. That's
Yeah.
like knowledge of self.
Yeah.
Right?
I like my Matt, my friend that I was talking about earlier.
Shut up, Matt.
Shout out Matt. He brought one of these up the other day because I went to like our company's holiday party. Right. I went for like 4 minutes.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, I'm not staying here. I was like, I don't like this. I don't want to pretend to like talk to these people. I don't want to pretend to cultivate an environment of like, I'm never going to speak to you again outside of work. I have no interest in speaking to you outside of work.
And the next holiday party.
Yeah. And maybe I'll do it again and I'll probably end up leaving within 5 minutes, but I'll show my face and be like, yep, same feeling, same environment. Don't like it. I'm going to leave.
Are you familiar with the term like agency or high agency?
Yeah, to a degree. Chris Williamson uses it a lot, but I guess I don't know the
To me, this kind of fits perfectly into it.
definition of
Of
it.
like, I would say the moments where you show like what he considers like high agency is doing those workouts when you don't want to, kind of
Yeah.
having like really strong executive function, I guess, right? Like if you make a decision, you can go do it. If
Yeah.
you make the decision you don't want to be here, you can excuse yourself.
Yeah.
And you just you do whatever you want to do at any kind of given time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris had the podcast with like Naval.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and they were just talking about this same kind of thing where Naval does not go to people's weddings,
Yeah.
or doesn't let himself get signed up for things, and
Yeah, he
I've
won't.
gone
That's
through
why
that
he
same
didn't
thing.
sign up. I love that.
yeah, where I can feel how freeing it is when you finally realize like, oh, I may upset somebody a little bit. Most of the time, you really don't, but like you just kind of don't let yourself get peer pressured into like the invite you don't want to take or whatever it be.
Yeah, his was great. I liked. I know the exact podcast. I watched it maybe a couple months ago, but yeah, him saying like I won't even put stuff in my calendar. He's like, because I don't want to lock my future self into going something that at that time I may not want to go to. I'm like, fuck, I'm not rich enough to do that.
I know.
Like,
I feel like there were
yeah.
so many things that he mentioned in there where it's like, yeah, dude, you're a billionaire.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Like normal people don't have the ability to schedule themselves like that and
Yeah.
can't just like ignore anything that they find inconvenient or not interesting to them.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I think
not
his
there.
perspective and attitude is really good in that like a lot of people do fall into, say, if it's going to a bar and you don't like doing that, but
Yeah.
someone invites you and you feel obligated.
It's a matter of like comfort more than anything, though, or not even comfort. I think it'd fall more so on the side of discomfort. And people are so afraid of being uncomfortable that they'd rather just do it and like go through the motions of doing it than just being like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to lose this friend by not going. I don't want to get invited in the future by not going, because that's like all you have or all you know. But I don't know. People ask about community a lot, or like people just be like, hey, how's Austin? Like, do you like Austin? Do you like where you're living? Right. I move around a lot, but I love Austin. And I feel like Austin is the best I've done as far as like cultivating a community of people that I just like enjoy being around. But normally, in other instances when I've moved, I would take any chance to like do things to meet people, right? Like I was like, I just need to meet people. I need to get out. I need to do these things. So sometimes it's like going to a birthday party at some random person's house and you're meeting at 10 p.m. and you're going out to different bars and you're out until 3. And it's like, great. I met a ton of people, but it was all very surface level. And candidly, I like don't talk to any of those people I've met in my past. Very few. But the biggest change was like I was very comfortable being uncomfortable and saying like I don't have friends right now. I don't have like this community of people that I want, but I know who I am and I know what I want that community to look like if it does come. And like I think one of the best examples is like doing sprints on Sundays, right? Like I would post doing sprints on Sundays. Dude, people don't want to do sprints on Sunday mornings. The hill sprints,
People don't want to do sprints.
period.
People don't want to run.
Yeah. Period.
Period.
Well, I don't want to run either.
Same.
But I'll run hill sprints, right? And I would post it, or I'd like post in the groups being like, I'm going to go run hills. Or like I'd post a link and be like, this hill's gnarly. Like we should go run this. When somebody's like, I will come run that with you, I was like, we'll probably be friends.
Yeah.
Like if you want to come do this Sunday morning, 1, that means you're likely not going out and getting hammered on Saturday. And 2, like,
Unless you are, then props.
yeah.
Shout out, Matt. Just
Yeah.
kidding. I don't
Dog
know.
on a bone. But that was like such a big thing where I was like, I'm not going to go to things that I'm uncomfortable going to, because if I make friends in those settings, I'm going to have friends in settings that I'm not comfortable being in, and those friends are likely not going to be people I'm going to stick around with for a long time. Which is why I don't know. Jiu Jitsu is a good group. I don't know if it was on that podcast, but somebody on Chris's it's about like I think they said 2:00 friends, but that's a little egregious. I'd say like
You said 2:00 friends?
2:00 friends, yeah. But you'd say like 2 p.m. versus 2 a.m. But I forget the actual time he used. But I'd say like I have 9:00 friends, right? People call me at 9:00 in the morning to do stuff. Like, let's go get breakfast, let's go get coffee, let's go do a workout, let's go walk around, Zilker, whatever it is. I don't have people calling me at 9 p.m. saying like, let's go hit the bars, let's go, do whatever. Nobody calls me at 9 p.m.
It's a really good metric for what type of friends you have.
It's just one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm fine with 4 p.m. too, but I like the 9 a.m.
No, but I can think back to the times I had the late night calls, and that's because of who I was hanging out with.
Yeah.
But the 2:00 friends was like whatever time of day this guy, whoever used it.
His
like
was a
friends.
good example too. I forget the guy, but he was basically saying like I have friends that if I called them at 2 a.m, no matter what I needed, they'd be there.
Gotcha. I see. Okay.
And that was still like a really good example.
Yeah.
I forget how exactly he positioned his, but I've always said like I have 9:00 friends, but 9 a.m, not p.m.
Yeah.
And I like that, but it takes time to find people, I guess, who are like that.
How do you think you were able to like build and create this, community of folks and homies that you developed in Austin since you got here?
I'd say like same thing to you, dude. It's just be genuine. Like you're a very genuine human, and I feel like you go out of your way to be nice to people and do things just because you want to, right? This is a quote. If I'm ever like famous one day, I hope this has my name on it, but I've always said give without expectation of reciprocation. And I feel like a lot of people do stuff with the goal of getting something in return. So like if I'm doing something for you, it's because I just want to. Like it's I get joy out of doing it for you. I want to be a part of whatever you're doing, and that's like all I'm there for. But I think that's a big part of it. So just being genuine, and then I don't know, being comfortable with not having everything you want right away. Like I could definitely go to certain events or certain things with friends, but I know the people I would make friends with, I'm like, we have nothing in common. I don't have anything
Yeah.
of similar interest with you. So, yeah.
I feel like being genuine is super important, especially, or maybe not especially, but like even if, or even more important if you're like fucking weird, bro. Like,
dude,
like
being weird
you
is
just gotta own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because if you're not genuine and you're fucking weird, then you're just like a different kind of weird that people don't actually fuck with.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
scary. Yeah,
Because it's like covered weird. It's like
let it out.
painted weird. You know? But if you're like really fucking weird and you just live it and you just own it, then it'll be like, oh, like he's fucking weird, but it's kind of endearing.
That's something that, like, I don't know, if I ever have kids, I'm going to try to do a really good job of. But like when we're younger is always, you know, taboo to be weird. And I'm like, dude, like just own that shit. Because right now, like maybe it's going to suck, but in like 15 years when you're just like this oddball wild card, but you're really true to like your oddball wild card, it's fucking awesome.
That's it, man.
Like I still have friends who are like that where I'm like, dude, you have just been like your own person forever.
And then
you still
props to you.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
love it. Like, I don't know. Trying to think of an example. Friends who just like really weird stuff, but like are open about it. I'm like, dude, I would never say that in public. But respect to you for like, you know.
To you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few examples I can think of off the pod of some really funny guys that like they put their whole selves out there on like their social media.
Yeah.
They're like kind of famous.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're an open book and that's like some personal shit you put out there. But I feel like it's got to be freeing, right? Like
For sure.
especially nowadays where like everything's recorded and like it's going to be out there one way or another.
Yeah.
Can't really hide who you are now. Like your phone's tracking everything. So
Sure, people.
somebody's got record of it, whether it's public or not.
Yeah. Sure, people resonate. That's like one thing I always forget or like don't really think about is that if we're just to post stuff that like we think it's very special to us, but then you're like, oh my God, there's like so many people who think the exact same way that I think. People line up. But
so wrestling at Minnesota, this is like a pretty serious program. Where would you say it falls as like one of the top programs for wrestling in the United States for like the NCAA level?
yeah, I would say historically in the top 20. I don't know what they're chalked up as right now. They just lost to SDSU, which was surprising. I don't think we've lost to SDSU in like the last 20, 30 years. I didn't even think about that. Shane from Fight Factory brought it up and was like, dude, holy cow. I didn't even put those pieces together. But
Shout out Shane.
but Minnesota's always been really good, tough program. It's always just meant to be like a gritty program, you know, meant to work hard on other people and get people tired. And that was always kind of the goal. Good principles to pull from.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like what did you pick up wrestling there for a few years as like the culture of the room and the team?
Yeah. I feel like I had a different experience than most. But just gritty. Like I feel like everything was meant to be hard. And it kind of depended on how you looked at it. But like the goal was always like if you get the other person tired, you're going to beat them. Right? People have great technique. People can have a great mentality, but if you get them tired, a lot of stuff shifts and changes. I would say, if anything, at Minnesota, I struggled with that. Like, I think my biggest downfall in collegiate wrestling is like just my confidence and ability to stick to the game plan. But and that was more so just from like the environment. I think I would have been better off going to a different school. But as far as like my experience, I didn't know how that worked. I didn't know how to do any of that or make changes like that. But it's kind of just grateful to, I don't know. I started my whole career, so I was just kind of grateful to be there, and I didn't really know I like had opportunity to do any different. But yeah, man, it was just gritty, meant to be hard work. I feel like that's
You said that you thought you might be better off going to a different school.
yeah.
Is that because of just the way that like the teaching styles or something like differed from how you would best respond to, or what do you think?
To a degree, not so much teaching style, but more so like teaching focus.
Mhm.
So, and even that, more so the focus just wasn't on me. And I feel like that comes off as like very egocentric or selfish, but it was more so. I remember like the other kids who came on at my weight. We had a huge freshman class. I think we had 13 kids, and like our team size was like low 40s. So like we're big,
Yeah.
and people wean out, right?
And what weight were you?
165 coming in, but I would beat the people at my weight as far as the other freshmen coming in, and they were like multiple time state champs, had some nice accolades. But I would remember leaving practices and like watching the coaches coach the kids I was beating that were all fighting for the same spot on how to like defend against my low single or like defend against whatever I was doing to them to like take them down or turn them, whatever it was. I was like, damn, that sucks, you know? But part of it is if you put, you know, a big scholarship in front of somebody that you want to invest in as part of being a part of the program for however long, like I had my scholarship. I didn't have anything that I was pulling from the team, but I felt like I don't know, dude. It was very much so like they were against me for a long time, and then there was a shift where they're like, "Hey, this person like keeps starting. He keeps beating the people that we're trying to like pull in and have start." And there was like a shift where a lot more attention was geared towards me. I will say, for a good bit of that, I was kind of a shithead. I don't know. I never really like when it came to wrestling, I was always extremely disciplined. Like it was my like safe space, I guess. Like it put me in a good spot. And there was people that did things that I didn't think you could be successful doing, right? Like easy example, but like people smoking. It's like, how can you be like at this level and you're like smoking weed? I had never smoked weed. And then I was like, I think I smoked weed my freshman year of college. I was like, if these guys are the best in the world and they're doing it, like maybe this is the secret sauce, right? And it's this like I hate smoking weed. Um, but it was little stuff like that. I got in a lot of trouble and I actually almost died from drinking when I was a little kid. So like I didn't drink throughout. Yeah, I didn't drink throughout like all of high school. And then I think after my freshman year of college, same thing. I was like, how are all these kids so good? And they're like drinking, smoking, doing all this stuff. But I started to like idolize people who were much better than me. And I was like, if they're doing it, then I'm going to do it too. And I feel like that put me in a bad spot. And then the last thing, which maybe this is like too much info for the pod, but it's interesting. There was like a huge scandal, and I was roped into it more so just by association. And I don't know. It was a situation where like the way that the collegiate system handles it is you're not getting innocent till proven guilty. You're guilty until you can prove somebody else is guilty. Dude, I remember like I gave them my laptop, my iPad, my phone, and I was like, I can give you guys all my stuff, but I can't tell you anything. Right? Like this is what I can give. I can make it very clear. But I felt like the people who did do it, they actually came forward. I'm not going to name drop anybody later, but it was like this big scandal. We all got suspended for 6 months. I pretty much just had to eat it. And then I was like, this sucks. But then there was like a very big, I don't know, felt like a shift towards sentiment towards me. I felt like I was looked at as the worst influence as far as the group of people who were named. And I was like, I think I'm the best influence. Like I'm like the like, you know, the least troublesome of the group as far as like trying to wreak havoc on the scenario. But as far as my background and where I came from, like I think one's family, all their families were really successful. And I was just like, I'm like the oddball out here. I feel like easy to point finger or blame at, but yeah, things came to fruition later. Just a weird experience, weird coaching dynamic. I felt like if I switched and found somewhere where they're like they valued or like wanted to amplify what I was doing, it would have been a better experience for me.
Earlier on.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say was the biggest tournament or kind of like the peak for your competition while you're wrestling at Minnesota? Was there like a single tournament was like your shining moment, or like the
Yeah.
biggest one that you got to compete in?
Well, NCAAs is the biggest one I got to compete in. It was crazy, a lot of pressure, but fun tournament. I got some cool clips. I did like my spladle. It's a Jiu Jitsu move, which I didn't know is a Jiu Jitsu move until later. But
Spladle?
yeah, I would do a spladle from boots. I did it at ADCC.
Is Spladle Jiu-Jitsu?
Well, so it's like a variation of. So like if you get to double boots, right, and somebody goes to quad pod, you can sink one deep and then pull to somebody's far heel, and you're basically putting them in like a leg lock. Would be like a knee. I don't know what you'd want to call that. You're isolating the back of their knee, and it's like tearing their hamstring at the same time. It sucks. But I could turn people with it. Like I'd pull it to their chest, or I'd cradle it across, and then I'd bring
It
their
sounds like a
shoulders up.
Sulov stretch.
That sounds right.
Yeah, where like you're leaning over their back and then you grab their heel and
Pull
roll
it to your
through.
chest. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You can either roll through, or a lot of times they'll like buckle to whatever side you pull to, like their hip will sink to that heel. We had, what's it called? Clip Keen Invitational. I feel like I always did really good at that tournament. That's a really big one. Big Tens is fun. Had a good couple runs at Big Tens. But no, I mean, collegiately, I felt like I was a very middle of the road D1 athlete. Like I didn't have like a shining star moment. My junior year, I feel like I had a good run, but same thing. Like I feel like if I shifted my confidence, especially like on my feet, it would have been a lot different. But yeah, can't really go back.
For all these competitions that you mentioned, do you have any kind of like pre-match like ritual or something like that you kind of stick with that gives you like, you know, gets you some of that confidence that you're looking for and all that?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one thing that like I feel like not a lot of people in jits have. Do you see people have like their own ritual?
I heard somebody wore the same underwear for 6 competitions in a row.
That's not a ritual.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're true. True.
That's a what's the word for that?
That's a
conspiracy. Conspiracy? No.
Sure, but there's a better one.
Superstition.
Superstition. Yeah, superstition.
Yes. That's
yeah.
somebody being superstitious, and it's disgusting. But yeah, we were really big on that, and I would say even that, like, there's some things I didn't value then as much as I do now. Part of it just being immature in the timing. You say caffeine? No, I had a lot of caffeine then. But like we would have people come in and talk about psychology and, you know, some of the reasoning behind why we should do the things the way we do them. I think our team was really, really good at that. Like even as we're, you know, prepping for a tournament, prepping for a duel, like the sequence of events of like our practice before was always the same. Our meal before was always the same. We'd always have a prayer before. Like we would go through this same sequence of events. But then prior to competing, I had my own, but like everybody, we're supposed to have like your own pre-match warm-up. And the goal is like when you get through this sequence of events, you're locked in. Like it's time to go, prep yourself for war. Boom, 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 lights on. For me, I actually kind of had to turn the lights off. So like I would get too anxious. I'd just get too nervous. And this was kind of what I was saying as far as like not being confident with things. So like I'd get so anxious that like it felt like my whole body was buzzing. If you've ever gone to like a theme park and then you're in bed later that night where like everything's still moving, like, oh my God, you know? But I would have the same sequence and I'd get like my heart rate up. I'd get sweat going, do the same thing, ideally with the same partner. Sometimes that changes. And then I would try to like wind down. So
before your match.
So I would like turn on calm music. I would like sit in like a little squat with my butt down on my heels and just like sit in the corner, dude, like just a little chimpanzee in the corner. And just try to calm my mind and not think so much was my go-to.
Any tracks come to mind for calming music?
Dude, so yeah, it changed. but I don't know. I've had a weird like religious journey, I guess. But my freshman year, I remember we had like freshman interviews where they'd like go through and like, here's your experience, here's, some more about XYZ. But super into like Christian music. Trying to think of some like Casting Crowns is solid. I can't think of any other ones right now. But yeah, I would turn on like Christian music and just sit in the corner and just like,
Is that like a period of like 5 minute, like one track, or is it like
oh dude, no,
10
it could be like
minutes?
an hour.
Oh,
It just depends. Like if I was in a good spot, I could just chill. But like for duels, you have a pretty good idea of when you're gonna be up. Right? Have you ever watched like a wrestling duel?
Never.
We can cue that up.
Okay.
I
Pull
think
it up,
it's
me.
yeah, I think I think it's sick. But it's weight order, and sometimes you'll start at a different weight. Like if both teams agree, you can draw sticks, and like literally, it's like drawing a stick that has a weight on it. So normally you start at 125, and then you go all the way up to heavyweight, right? In weight order. But say your 125 pounder is cutting a ton of weight, or maybe your 125 to 141 is cutting a ton of weight. You're like, we want to try to pull straws, right? See if we can maybe like start at 165, 174. That way we can give those guys a little bit more time to rehydrate and let that food get into their system a little bit better. It's less of a shock. So,
and those are the guys that are probably cutting the hardest, right? Like the lower weight classes.
just depends. So like I cut a lot of weight, but like our 125 pounder, Lezak's one of my best buddies, he cut a ton of weight. Like he was huge 125 pounder. Honestly, a lot
What
of
was
our
his
team-
walk-in?
I don't know. He did good at getting it down in season. He got a lot better at it later on in our career, but I'd call him a chicken nugget sometimes because he gets so big so quick. But like 160 maybe, and then later,
my
like when you
gosh.
have a bit more developed muscle, like later in your career in college, probably like 170, and then he jumped to 133.
What about you?
I'm
You were
willing to bet.
walking
I'm willing to bet
165.
Lezak weighs like 185 right now. So initially, like I graduated, well, I cut a lot of weight in high school too. I was probably cutting from like 180 to 152. But when I got to college, I never really lifted. And then,
Really?
yeah,
Dang.
it was sweet. I was like, this is cool. Muscle, baby. Come on.
Hella.
It wasn't after my freshman year, but I think after my redshirt freshman year, I want to say I got up to like 230 something. Like I've told this story. I think I got up to like 235 at my peak. And we were doing all these camps and traveling around. I have a picture where like, dude, I just look like a meatball. And I'm not talking like a thick meatball. I'm like literally like
These are all things he's called me too.
I have like no neck. But all we did was like we just worked out sun up to sundown. Honestly, we were up before the sun and we were working out until after the sun was down. And all I would do is like work out and eat. But it was like very regimented. And it was the biggest ever got, the fastest ever got.
Sick.
And I think in part, I forget what it's called. What is it called when like you have like beginner's gains? Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, people just call it like newbie gains.
Noob gains.
Dude,
Yeah.
newbie gains to the max, right? So it's like the first time where I was like, I'm going in on this and I'm hitting it hard. But yeah, gained a lot of weight really quick. Some of it was fat for sure, but I was pretty yoked up. And then the end of that summer, I still cut down to 165. Obviously, I had time. Like it wasn't like I did it over the course of a week.
230 to 165.
Yeah.
Over the course of probably, I would say, like a couple months.
I don't remember. But yeah, so I mean, like say we had summer and season started to ramp up for October, November.
Yeah.
Like my weight was working down once summer ended. And I wouldn't say I was sitting at that. I'm saying like at some point in time I hit 235.
Yeah, you like touched on it and then started coming
but
back
I would
down.
say like walking probably the heaviest, like comfortably, well, 225, 230. Like when I moved here, I weighed 235, but I wasn't like yoked up. And then I think for ADCC, I cut to whatever. Dude, I didn't even have to cut weight for that. I had William with me, and they were like starstruck, and they're just like, "Was your weight good?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro. I wish you didn't cut weight because you guys didn't look at the scale. You didn't check me in. You didn't do anything."
Oh my gosh.
But I did make weight. I was like, I could have snuck away without doing anything.
Well, what did you get down to for that?
197, 198, 197. I forget.
So it was maybe like a 91 kg or something
Yeah.
like that.
That sounds right.
I think they have that category for the opens.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's fun. Yeah, I cut a lot. I ended up getting like a concussion at our open tournament. We do it every year to like secure your spot. But yeah, when you cut that much weight, it's real easy to get,
Knock something loose.
yeah, you get flicked in the head. You're like, oh.
Dude, I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you had anything lined up. Anything? All right, you're fine.
Oh no, I was gonna talk about how he actually coaches at Fight Factory now, and we train at Fight Factory just to kind of go into some of more his jiu-jitsu that he was talking about with the ADCC.
I wanted a walkthrough of
Terrible
the
jiu-jitsu.
ritual that you had.
Warm up,
Yeah.
At ADCC?
No.
dude. ADC,
For your wrestling matches. You
I
said
mean-
everybody had like their own ritual. What was yours?
yeah.
Getting into it.
I mean, in part, it was like our coach did a good job of it. So like we would have a practice. It was usually less than an hour. If you needed to cut weight, you could do that like your last minute weight cut there. But as far as like after we're weighed in and everything, like I would always come out with my shoes off. I would tie my shoes on the mat. I would like basically prep myself or talk to myself as I was tying my shoes, jog a little bit, do like the warm-ups we do at Fight Factory, right? So a little bit
Fish
more,
out of water.
yeah, a little bit more gymnasty, and then have a partner. Usually, like I said, you want somebody that you're comfortable with that like flows nice, because like as you're hitting your plan A's, your plan B's, and kind of flowing through things, you want it to feel like the most fluid at that time. If you had like an off partner, somebody you're not used to, you're like, oh God, it's gonna be a terrible duel. Like, I just. And then I'd normally do like fire feet, high knees, knees to chest, do some sprints. Trying to think of what else. Fire feet, stance motion, fire feet, knees to chest, fire feet, bounces where I'm just bouncing off my toes. Yeah, man. And then I would literally just like crouch down. I forget what it's called. Somebody like brought it up yesterday because I never heard it phrased anything. They called it like a Chinese squat or an Asian
Like an
squat.
Asian squat.
Asian. Is it called an Asian squat?
Yeah.
So
like
I'd,
flat feet.
yeah, dude, I'd Asian squat and just sit there for like ever. Yeah. Loosen my hips up and then I just kind of slow myself down.
Have you always been gymnasty?
Or
Or is that something that you developed over time?
I would say I've always been athletic. Yeah. I think most people are. I think most people are capable of doing a lot more. It's just a matter of this fear factor that I can't do this thing. If they were just to commit to actually trying it.
I respectfully disagree because I be throwing myself
Rico,
and I cannot
you are
be a fish
ball
out of
muscle.
water.
You could literally do any of the things I show. It's just a matter of directing and like the intent of what you're doing.
Well, if it's an issue with commitment, that's all I'm saying.
It probably
I'll
is.
be committing.
You could do a backflip off the floor right now and you'd be fine. 100%.
All right.
Right
Like,
here,
not
right now.
here.
Let's
We have
go.
too much
Absolutely. Like for how explosive you are and compact, you could rip a little notebook right here and nobody would know any different. But it is like, it's such a matter of fear. Like there was a period, I haven't done just a backflip off the ground in so long. I actually fell one time. It was at a party in college where like.
That you didn't want to be at.
Well, I was drinking that. That's fine. Stupid party trick where it'd be like, I'm going to do a backflip, right? And like you just do a backflip.
Hell yeah.
Fell on my head. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. Like, that sucked. I don't think I've done one since. I swear.
You just need to let go of your fear.
Yeah, back handsprings.
You just gotta
I'll
commit,
flip off
bro.
the wall. I'll flip off of something, but like off just the ground. We'll do it. We'll do it at Fight Factory.
I have never done a backflip.
I need a spotter. For like the first 10,
Yeah.
20.
So Was your time, you started training at Six Blades here in
Yeah.
Austin. Was that your first time doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
No, but yes. Like I had gone to gyms, and I even like, so growing up, I always watched the UFC. So like my brother and I, we'd have friends come over, like, we try to crank an arm bar, rear naked choke. Like there are things that like I had been exposed to, but from a technical standpoint, saw it on TV. High school, I remember we had this guy come in, forget his name. He's a wild card, but he would come in and he would want to learn how to wrestle, right? So he'd come train with the high school, and we had a good high school program. I don't remember how big he was, but like good partner for me because he just like Wico, dude's just a ball muscle. So I was like, this is a good feel. And then at the end of
That's so
practices,
nice. I wish more people would say that about me. Just a
ball
good feel.
muscle.
He's just a good feel.
Good feel, baby. Come on. And then at the end of practices, like I would always have to cut extra weight. So I'd put sweats on. And then if like you put sweats on, you already have your heart rate up and your sweat's going. And now he would like try to keep me, or I would try to retain my guard or keep in my guard. Otherwise I would try to pass his, or like that person would just smother the other person, whatever it was. But like if you're already hot and sweaty and then you're sitting in sweats and somebody's body weight's on you, like it was a great way for me to cool down but also keep my sweat going at the same time. Cool down, warm.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really chalk that up as jits, but exposure too. And then when I lived in New York, I'd gone to a couple different gyms. Dante Rivera's was one. My buddy Cheeto fights out of that gym. Their gym's legit. I only went there once. I can't remember. It was in a gi. And we did throws, so like it wasn't even jits. It's like sick, dude. This is my day. Let's go. And then Six Blades. Well, I went to another gym in New York, in Queens, and the guy had like ties to the Gracie family, but the gym was like, maybe twice the size of this room, total. It's not big enough. And the class I went to was like a beginner's class, where I was like, not a beginner's class, like a promo class. I was like, I just want to go see who's here.
An intro.
Yeah.
Like everybody there was like their
There was
first
like
time or
purple
something.
belts, black belts. The class, we didn't really do anything. And then for live, because there's such small space, they just put like the people who are newer on top and the people who are more experienced on their backs. And we started in side control. And the objective was that the person on bottom had to get off their back. Dude, I was like, this is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
You're not getting off your back. So I just sat there like pinning people, and I like told them I was brand new, and I think it just hurt people's egos for 30 minutes or whatever it was. And I was like, dude, this is fun. But I didn't feel challenged. I didn't feel like I learned anything. So I didn't end up going back. And then when I got here, Matt, my buddy from work.
Shout out, Matt.
Number 3. He ended up really pushing and encouraging me just to come check it out. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I probably should go back. Like they have a great community, good culture, very like disciplined structure in what they do. But yeah, that was like the first time I actually kind of stuck to it. I feel like I should have gone to beginners classes. There's kind of like this underlying pressure to not going to beginners classes because I absolutely just womp on everybody. But I'm like, I need the basics. I need the fundamentals. I can get to some of these things just because I am athletic. I can get by because I am athletic and because I wrestled. But like, just some basic principles of like, here's why we do this. Here's why we put our hand here. Here's where we put our pressure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that goes a long way.
We're going to come back to that. I got to take a quick break real quick. And then we'll go back to jiu-jitsu stuff.
Sounds good, dude.
Toy.
Y'all need anything?
I think I'm good.
I want to grab those glasses.
The what?
I get eye twitches.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's doing fine. Basically just hanging out. It's kind of fun, dude. It is fun.
What?
Just hanging out.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sweet, dude, right? You were talking about, it's like, yeah, if like I don't want to do something, I'll just be like, all right, guys, thanks. Sorry, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you about to leave right now? You can leave right now.
I've seen people do that on podcasts. I like trying to think of the times where I have seen it. Kind of chilly, but it feels good. Trying to think of the times where I have seen it, and I don't know. I've always like really respected it. Where you can tell like somebody asked something or struck a chord on something. Where like
Yeah.
the same way you guys sent like a Q&A of like, what do you
Yeah.
not want to talk about?
Yeah.
Like I'm sure some people take that where it's like, what do you not want to talk
And
about?
then
It's
they
like,
bring it up.
first thing, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, so you mentioned you don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Why? And you're
Yeah.
like, you idiot.
Peace.
Yeah. And
I'm out.
I've seen people step out like that, and I'm like, I respect that because it's a very hard thing to do and just be like, I made my mind up. I'm not going to sit and think about like, I don't know.
Go through this,
yeah.
even though I don't want to talk about it, but talk about it
Pondering
anyways.
subconscious discomfort. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah. And then like after that whole experience, you're in your car, just like you mentioned, you're in your car and be like, why did I just fucking do that?
Yeah.
Why did I just put myself through that? Why didn't I just get up and
I just start skipping away. Yeah. Chin up, chest out, skipping away. Yeah. I'm trying to think because I have seen. I feel like I saw somebody get off impulsive doing that. I'm trying to think of other ones where that stuff has happened, but I think I've seen Mark Cuban get up and leave from a podcast.
Oh, yeah, I catch clips of that all the time.
Mark
Yeah.
Cuban did?
No, I can't think of that one.
Just people leaving.
in particular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like a host who's just like trying to get them in like a gotcha or like some recent scandal or something like that. And it's just like
Yeah.
the first thing they say. They're clearly
Yeah.
trying to get under their skin, and they're just like, yeah, I don't need to do this.
I was telling
Yeah.
him when he was talking about like it's like not feeling away and just like excusing himself and leaving. I was like, he's leaving. He's about to go right now. He's about to go right now.
It's freeing. To that same point of like talking about Naval, where like sometimes you can't leave.
Yeah.
Or it's like, I don't have to be here, but sometimes you do have to. Like you have an obligation, or maybe somebody's getting paid to do something. But yeah.
We were talking about being like genuine, right? Like just being yourself regardless of how weird it is or whatever. How do y'all feel about showing like different sides of yourself to different people in different situations? Like on one hand, I feel like people are multifaceted, right? They have different aspects to themselves and all that. And sometimes it might be more appropriate, than others. Like, I'm not going to talk to y'all the same way I talk to my mom,
For sure.
But do y'all think that's still genuine, or is there a portion of that that's like kind of fake or whatever?
I would talk to your mom very respectfully. I'll start there.
I would too. She would fucking beat my ass, bro.
You better
sick.
respect my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I change.
Yeah.
I think there are settings where like I will, but I think that's kind of the point of it as far as like just being genuine. Who comes to mind? Gary V, I guess, is like a great example of it. He's kind of like a radical example of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather be myself all the time, be comfortable with it, than like be uncomfortable trying to be something I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think I have to shift who I am in any of like the circles that I'm in. I'd say if anything, sometimes I'm more quiet or like coy in a scenario until I feel like comfortable being a bit more extroverted.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah, I'm not gonna start talking about like things I don't like. Be like, yeah, dude, I know what that is. And then 30 minutes later, I'm like Googling what the fuck is, so and so.
I definitely feel that. We mentioned before that I learned that I probably just should not like sing like on the mats at other gyms.
Sing.
Yeah. Like I do at Fight Factory.
Or dance.
All the fucking time,
Yeah.
And I came to a realization that it's like borderline disrespectful, and like I'm not trying to do that. So Gotta feel people out.
I don't think it is. I feel like that's great. Like I think about it. There's times like especially earlier on, like I'd play certain songs and you'd start like dancing or singing to it, and you'd always do the same stupid like you always have the same one where like I'll play a certain song and I'd literally think about it and I would start doing that dance the moment that song came on. I was like, where the fuck is Wiko, dude?
Let's go.
No, I think
I don't have a long list of moves, so.
Hey man, you really only need one. Try to preach that in wrestling. No, I think it's good to be that way. Like to that exact point. Like I think about you when those things happen because that is authentically your personality. Whereas if like
I hope so, bro. Could you imagine if I was faking it? How much
That's what I'm
effort
saying.
that would be?
Yeah.
Jeez.
that'd be a lot. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest way I can think of it for myself is like, call it being professional or not.
Right.
It's just like in certain times where
Like
I quote,
parents.
like professional situations. I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like say if I was talking to parents
Yeah.
or something.
Shout out parents.
And like for me, the biggest thing I can feel on like that personality switch is like I teach a kids class.
For sure.
And the second it's done, I'll start
Yeah.
cussing.
Yeah.
And it's like a switch in my brain that like while it's happening, I just don't think about it and I don't really cuss. And then
Yeah.
the seconds it's over, it's like, all right, that's back to like maybe a different side of the personality. But really in that situation, I think it's just being professional.
That's
You
fair
know?
though.
So I think in those two worlds, I would say I feel the biggest difference.
Yeah.
But anyway, going back, we were talking about you training at Six Blades.
Yeah.
At what point did you meet the Tacketts and start helping out with their wrestling? And then at what point did you get involved as a wrestling coach at Fight Factory?
Dude, the wrestling coach thing at Fight Factory was so fast. I tell that story. Rodrigo's the man. Like he trusted me like the moment he shook my hand. So I was like, dude, when somebody does that, like it's pretty quickly reciprocated, right? We're like, if you trust me this much just from our initial encounter, like I feel like I trust you, right? For you to be able to give that to me.
It's all part of the strategy.
Yeah. I don't remember how William found out about me, but William DM'd me. And then similar, like this is kind of how all this stemmed. It was from my buddy Matt. But I told Matt,
Shout
I was
out,
like, number 4. I was like, who's William Tackett? You know? And he's like, what do you mean this kid DM'd you? I was like, yeah, he sent me a message and he got my number, shot me a text, and he wants to work on some wrestling, which I was like, dude, I love doing privates. I'll scrap with whoever. I'm not too big on like overly glorifying anybody. Like when I met Shanji's like the LeBron James of Jiu Jitsu, right? Like I love Shanji, but I think part of it is when I met Shanji, I didn't know who he was. I didn't have any glorification towards who he was. I didn't care. It's not to say I didn't care because I think it's awesome that he has all these accolades, right? Like you very much so have committed yourself to something. But it's like, I look at you for who you are, your character, how you treat people, like who you have around you is a pretty good determining factor of like the type of person you are. But I don't know how he initially got a hold of me. And then he reached out asking to do privates. And so we set up privates and we started meeting once or twice a week.
Is that at Fight Factory?
Yeah, at Fight Factory. I still have like notes and videos from some of our initial encounters, which is cool because there's like, I remember there was stuff he did to Zhao and different little things where I was like, oh, that's cool. Like full circle moments. But yeah, he reached out. We obviously hit it off. He's like family here, you know, love those guys. And got to a point like it's weird doing privates, and I know like sometimes engaging in privates initially, I hate asking people for money, but it's also one of those things where it's like I want to get paid for something I'm good at. But this is like at the beginning of it all where like now those guys are getting paid, which is phenomenal. But I was like, you're going to do this big thing. I don't want you to have to worry about paying me for privates. I was like, so we set up an arrangement where I was like, let's do privates whenever you want to do them. I was like, just get me out to Vegas. Right? I was like, when the time comes, just get me out to Vegas. So we did privates. Basically just worked on whatever we wanted to work on, kind of made like sequences, or we'd honestly just like kind of play around and flow a lot. And that's, I feel like, how both of us learn a lot when we at least work with each other. And then when CGI came around, I ended up signing up for ADCC because we are going to be there anyways. And then those guys flew me out, stayed with them at the Airbnb. And from there, just been homies.
It's like,
How does it feel as like a wrestling background helping jiu-jitsu guys with their wrestling?
It's been sweet. I've learned a lot about wrestling and jiu-jitsu. I missed your question on Fight Factor and how do we go. I'll come back to it, but it's cool because I've been like trying to, obviously I always start with like fundamentals, right? I'm like, we should start here and have a baseline of here's how we understand it. Here's how we should do it. It doesn't have to be this way all the time, but at least understand how to do it from here and know this is a good safe space to start from, and your efficiency to finish or get to XYZ is going to be better. And then everybody's different body styles, different levels of strength, whatever it is, speed. So it's like you're going to have your own methodology of like finishing or getting to whatever it is you're trying to do. But having this as your baseline will give you the highest likelihood of being able to get wherever you're trying to go to. Transitioning that to jits has been fun because it's been just like a lot of reverse engineering. So in part, like I have to learn where we're trying to get to. I have to like experience shooting a shot and getting guillotined. And I'm like, okay, we got to focus on, getting here, making sure your head high, chest high, like driving across right away, because then they can't break your posture. So certain little things are like, you have to be in it to be able to make that translation between the two. But it's been fun. And there's like a lot of little nuanced things that I've been able to figure out where I'm like, try this out, see if it works for you. But back to your thing on how do we go? Dude, he gave me a key like the first time I met him. William introduced me to him, and he's like, "Hey, do you wanna coach wrestling? And we'll start with just one time a week." And I think I threw a number at him that was higher than anybody else who's like typically paid for a coach. But I was like, I don't really have time, and not that I don't want to, but I was like, if I'm leaving my day or whatever I'm doing, I was like, I want to get paid just to leave that thing, and then I don't care about my time as much. Yeah, because I like coaching. He's like, he shot me down. He's like, we'll start here. I'm like, all right, you're lucky I like coaching. And I liked him. But he gave me, a key right away. And I was like, you sure? You want to give this to me? So that was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, I really enjoy now that we have you, I'll call it on the staff at Fight Factory, because like I could not be more of a jiu-jitsu guy. Like my grappling style and then like my teaching methods, it's like heavy on the ground, heavy on the submissions.
Yeah.
And so since you joined, I now can like defer people to you. And it's like a nice balance where like it's kind of the same thing on the other side for you, where it's like, okay, once we start talking about the guillotine, like I'll help you on the guillotine, and then like you can work on like a shot that works against the guillotine.
Yeah.
You know? And it's felt really good to be able to actually have like a real wrestling resource, because I only understand takedowns from the perspective of like MMA or jiu-jitsu, where you're threatened by these submission counters, and that has held me back because there's kind of like a fundamental misunderstanding of takedowns, I feel like, when you're just doing jiu-jitsu all the time.
Yeah. It is nice. It's nice to have you guys here too. But the pairing's helpful. I don't know. It's so funny to see because the jiu-jitsu like style of wrestling it's like a weird mix of all of them. It's like taking these little pieces, but it's tough because some of it makes so much sense as far as like the positions you're trying to get to on the ground. But if you can be like, hey, wrestle only while you're on the feet, and it'll probably get you to a better spot when you are on the mat, it is super helpful. Like I feel like the weight management and like hip management is the biggest thing, but I don't know. It's weird to like shake out of somebody if you've done jiu-jitsu your whole life, and then you're like, hey, we're not going to do it that way.
Yeah.
Let's try.
That's how I feel every time I'm in one of your classes. It's like overriding years and years of either bad habits or just like the way I do things.
The toughest things, like I think I'm going to put together a school at some point. I like that platform. Obviously, like Hormozy, I'd say he's a good influence. But the toughest thing that like I've been trying to do better at getting people to understand is just the defense and the response to positions. Because we'll work on things, but people don't know how to respond appropriately. So like if I'm showing something or doing something and your partner doesn't know how to react, you don't actually get a proper feel. So like, would this really work? I'm like, yes, because that person is not going to stand still, right? Like I keep using that stupid example of like, if I'm standing here, do you feel threatened? And that seems to be clicking for some people, but
Yeah.
so, people just don't move.
Well, shifting gears a bit, this year you started a mergers and acquisition company.
I did.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Dude, this stuff's cool because a lot of it's came to fruition like right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, it'll be like February. I think I'll close my first acquisition, but February or March of this year, I started this new business, and man, I've started a lot of stuff and I've dabbled in a lot of things. I fucked up a lot, and I would say I've lost a good bit of money doing so a number of times. And I'm like very, very protective of what I have now because like I don't come from a lot, so I don't want to like fall on my face and fuck up too bad. But this is probably like the thing that I'm willing to risk the most on and understand that like if all goes to hell, I'm gonna be fucked. And I'm gonna have to like start from ground zero and build her back up. But I so I work in private wealth management, and I have a number of clients who either sold their business or had to liquidate their business, and they would come to me with questions. And to a degree, like that's not my MO, right? That's not like my absolute space. It's a bit more particular niche. So I was like, all right, well, I want to help you guys. Like these are people I care about. So I'm going to do some research and figure out what I can do, right? Like I want to get better at this so I can have these conversations appropriately and I don't have to, vet other people to have conversations on my behalf for you. And I figured out that I really like this stuff, right? So buying and selling businesses primarily from retiring business owners who have been running their businesses for 30, 40 years. And a big part of it is like some of my clients, like the ones that like had to liquidate. So say you worked on something for 40 years, you made this awesome thing, and then you're like, hey, this is just going to fizzle out. Like that kind of sucks. Like it's basically this project you worked on your whole life and then it's just dying. So I've been buying businesses in a certain niche space from retiring business owners. And the goal is to build this federal contracting platform. So think of like the App Store. I'm trying to make this in a simple example. And then so I'm starting with one. There's a GC firm that I'm looking to close on in Virginia in February, maybe March. And that'll be like the foundation.
What was GC?
General contracting firm. Primarily builds medical and dental facilities. And then I'm looking to build up on each vertical. So like I want to focus in that construction space, and then I want like environmental consulting. I want heavy civil. I want infrastructure. I want utility and underground. So I basically want to be a one-stop shop that anything that's needed can be contracted within this same wheel of services, right? But I'm going to independently own each business and hold it under my company. The crazy thing is that it's like way easier than I thought it would be, which sounds stupid, but like the amount of money that's needed to go into it, I thought was like insane. It was like the first one I submitted an LOI on. This number is going to sound egregious.
What was LOI?
Letter of intent. Thank you. Yeah. The first one that like kind of opened my eyes to be like, I'm going to do this was there was a business selling for $45 million. I don't have $45 million just to like that. I don't have that. Right. But I was like, this fits, right? So I'm native, and there's certain certifications that like I can capitalize on in the government contracting space, which is a big part of it. So like I could build this up, and I already have a strategy that I aim to implement, which should immediately make things a bit more efficient. But I like this one fit perfect. Like everything was perfect to like the criteria I needed. It was just way more expensive than anything that like I was pursuing. But I was like, everything else fits. So like I feel like if I can speak to what I'm looking to do, I can find somebody to help me. Right. And that was like kind of the big thing. Working in the field I work in, I can't reach out to any of the people I work with. It's a huge conflict of interest. I'm not trying to lose my job. If anything were to go south, like I have no income, and now I have a business that as of right now is not producing income. So fucked on all sides. But I was like, I'm going to try to figure this one out. I can reach out to a capital firm as far as like a partnership. But I put together like this whole strategy deck, pitch deck, figured out how exactly I can make everything work. The company was doing 80 million in revenue. It was doing 15 million in profit. I forget what those margins are, but it was like 25% or something. Very, very successful business. And I sent a text to this guy who owns a capital firm, and I was like,
Shut up, Matt.
different guy. Matt's aware of this stuff though. But I sent a text, and I was just like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what my game plan is.
Game plan. Let's
Fuck yeah.
Dude, I've been on the ball with that.
It comes up so much, dude.
It does, dude. It's solid. Game plan. But I got a thumbs up, and I was just like, this is way more feasible than I thought it was. So that deal ended up falling through, but that was the first one I submitted on. It was the biggest thing I could have found or possibly pursued. And it fell through. But that happening, I was like, I can absolutely do this by myself. Like I can figure everything out by myself. Initially, it was, a mess, as is anything when you first start. But like I've probably vetted over 100 businesses in the last year and gone through like, you get, it's called a SIM, confidential info memorandum, which is basically like a resume for the business. It's like, here's all our info, here's who we are, here's how it works, here's our team, what we do. Going through financials is basically like reading a really bad book like over and over and over again. Like you just don't want to read it.
Paperback on cardio.
Yeah, I have read a lot of those during cardio. But that initial experience made it like, I forget who it is. I think it's Hormozy, but he has like these stages of like starting something new. Like the initial phase is delusional optimism. Actually,
Oh my God.
what do you start? Are you
What?
guys out of the delusional optimism phase with your podcast?
When we started, I was telling, I'm pretty sure we've had a couple conversations, and I know I have had a couple conversations with other people too. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm just like half delusional, half optimistic, half self-confident, half self-deprecating. That's way too many halves to make sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that anywhere else outside of my own head. So it's great to like hear somebody else speak it.
Would you chalk yourself up as a delusional optimist?
100%.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it awesome?
I always think whatever I'm doing is going to work. Like it could be just the most outrageous thing, and I'm like, it's gonna work. And I feel like if you think that way, there's actually research behind like the psychology of thinking a certain way and the actual outcome. There's typically a higher likelihood of it happening. You'll find what you seek. There's some cool studies behind it. I could talk about them, but we'll come back. I'll nerd out on that stuff.
I would actually really like to hear it. So we'll get there.
So I actually have, my brother and I have an LLC in Texas that is not used. It is dormant, but it's called Delusional Optimism LLC. And there was an
Shout out
intent
Delusional Optimism.
to use it. And I intend on using it for something, but I don't know yet. But that first phase is delusional optimism, right? Where you're like, I have this idea. I know I can make money doing it. I know I can be successful doing it, running full speed. And then you get hit in the face with educated pessimism. I think that's the second phase where you're like, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be. This sucks. There's a lot of hard steps to it. I forget what the other steps are, but it basically creates a loop where you either get to this point of like, hey, I'm going to switch and not do this. I'm going to try something different. Or you can get over that hump, and then it's educated optimism where it's like, I know this is going to suck, but I'm still going to make it work. right? But delusional optimism is a good thing. And I got hit in the face with like not knowing what I was doing, much harder than I thought it was going to be, but feasible. And I think the feasibility component was like, I'm going to make this work. Learned about Greg, who I was like,
Shout out
Greg,
Greg.
very similar. And I was like, holy cow. I wish the circumstances were a little bit different for Greg, because I feel like he could be a great mentor. And I do like asking him questions, because I feel like some of those things click, right? Like he's just so used to having those conversations or being in that space that like things start firing. So it's fun to speak with him, because I can tell everything I'm saying. He's
That's
just
cool.
like, he knows his shit, right? Um, but fast forward, 8, 9 months now, I am going back and forth. So we haven't submitted our final letter of intent. I say we, it's just me. But we're very aligned as far as like how we want everything to work out. And the deal, it'll be life-changing situation. Like I do quite well for myself, but like I could make multiple 7 figures within the first year just by everything going through, which
Sick.
very sick. It wouldn't obviously like not something I'm just going to pocket, but for me, it'd be something where I can immediately take that and keep growing what I'm doing and kind of compound that very quickly. So it's a cool, I don't come from that. So it's cool to like get to the point where that's like within an arm's reach.
What is the next step after educated optimism, educated pessimism?
I forget.
Delusional optimism, educated pessimism.
Do you want to look it up?
I'm trying to find it.
It's Hormozy's stages of, I think there's 4 stages or 5 stages. But like, so the middle ground is that a lot of times people, it's so easy to like jump ship, right? So
And
say like,
cycle back.
yeah, say I see somebody's having success day trading, right? Well, then I'm going to be like, I want to be a day trader. And then I blow up an account, lose a ton of money. And I'm like, okay, it's harder than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep trying to jump through these hoops, and I just keep, stepping on my own feet. Well, once I get hit by that educated pessimism of like, this sucks. Well, then I'm in this stage where it's like, okay, now I need to educate myself, right? Like I need to actually understand how to do this and get better at this. And it's going to take time and effort to actually get to this point where I am successful at it. And a lot of people will get to this point, and then rather than trying to get good and put in the reps to do something, they'll find the new thing.
They'll pivot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I wasn't good at trading. Now I'm going to, I don't know, just jump to whatever that next thing is and just keep switching.
This is very like, I see a chart. It's like, it goes like this.
Like the Dunning-Kruger.
Thank you. Charades. Let's go.
What is it?
The Dunning-Kruger, where it's like time, like your perceived knowledge of the thing, and then your time spent doing the thing, right?
Okay.
So it's like your Y is like your perceived skill or whatever.
Yeah.
And then X is, how
Time.
long have you been doing it? So when you start doing something, your perceived knowledge or skill is just skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And then you come crashing down. And then
Really?
you hit the bottom of like, after enough time, you realize that you know enough that you don't know anything. And
Yeah.
then over time, as you keep doing it, you start to actually understand it. And then you don't have a perception above where you're actually at with the skill.
That's cool. I've never heard of that.
That's very similar, right? This
Yeah.
is all.
Yeah. It definitely is. I like that a lot. Yeah. I think people just want things to be easy. Like people are like, oh, I
want things to be easy too.
Yes and no. Like, I think it's cool when you work so hard at something that it is easy because you're so good at it.
Yeah.
Right. But like, I want to earn it. I don't want the entry of what I'm doing to be something that anybody can do. Like, I want it to suck, and I want it to suck so bad that if somebody's like, how'd you get there? You're like, here you go.
Here's the time.
Secret sauce, baby. And everybody's just like, yeah, I'm cool. That sounds terrible. Like that's
I think one way to not necessarily get around it, because you can't really get around it, but it's the whole thing of like falling in love with the process.
Yeah.
Right. So I agree. A lot of it does suck, but if you really enjoy like grappling, right? Wrestling, Jiu Jitsu, if I don't like getting crushed, it's not my favorite thing. Type 2 fun, but
Say type 2 font.
type 2 fun. Are you familiar with this type 2 fun?
Sorry, I thought you said type 2 font. Type 2 fun.
Type 2 font.
Type 2 fun. No.
Type 2 fun. Okay.
So
Well,
we're on the outside looking in because it's not fun for you, but it's for other people.
no, it's when you're having an experience, and for the most part, it's kind of garbage. Like, it just really sucks, right? But you look back fondly on it or something. Is that right, Davis?
Yeah, yeah. It's not super fun in the moment, but when you look back on it, it's like, oh, that was such a fun
Yeah.
experience.
Like going on a hunting trip and it was freezing cold the whole time, but you're like, that sucked, but cool to look back on.
That was William's example
Type 2 fun
of hunting with Stu.
He said it. So
Yeah?
I have heard that. Yeah, that was William's example.
Yeah,
Shout out to William.
Shout out William.
Yeah, so the Hormozy cycle of optimism is 5 stages.
Okay.
Uninformed optimism, informed pessimism, the valley of despair, informed optimism, and achievement.
Okay.
And then
pretty close.
You know, is that
valley of despair is what I
yeah, I think people
Couldn't
get in a loop of uninformed optimism because they quit in the valley of despair. And then that's what you're talking about, jumping onto like a new venture, a new opportunity.
Yeah. But the valley of despair is the fun part. And to your point of like enjoying the process, there's like a double-edged sword to this because sometimes the process sucks. And like it's hard to fall in love with sometimes, especially when you're not good at something, but like you want to be. But my like biggest thing has just been momentum. Like I'm like, even if I did very little, if I can do something, like there's been days where like I haven't looked at my business May all day. And then it'll be like 10 p.m. I'm like, momentum, like gotta do something. So like I'll send some emails.
Hold on, you said your business May?
May, yeah.
Is your business called May?
May Management, yeah.
Got it, thank you.
There's a cool story behind it.
Hell yeah.
But
moving on.
I'll come back to it. More so just like the momentum of things is important because it's really easy to let things fizzle. Like I've tried starting things with other people and it's really hard to keep each other accountable. Like back to that thing of like unspoken expectations, I think cause issues with people a lot. So it's like, here's what I expect out of you. Here's what I expect out of myself. Here's what I intend to give. Here's what I expect you to give. And if we can do these things, it'll work. But people are on different schedules. People have different expectations. And it's always made it difficult because I am very consistent. As you could guess. And I'll get frustrated with people because I'm like, if we're doing this, like, I want to be here at this time. I want to talk about these things when we said we were going to talk about them. I want this to be done when we said it was going to be done. And this is like the first time where I've been like, I'm not dealing with anybody. At some point I'll bring other people in, but I'm doing this solely by myself because I don't want anything to deter me. There's a really cool story. Dude, I have so many tangents. It's terrible. Maybe it's good.
No, I think it's great.
But it's a really good example. And I've like carried it for a long time where there's 2 people and they're both trying to get in better shape. And they're like, you and I are going to hold each other accountable. Right. So our goal is we need to be at the gym at 5 a.m. Every time we leave the gym, I take your shoes, you take my shoes. So now tomorrow, 5 a.m., you better fucking show up. Because if you don't show up, your shoes don't fit me. Right. So it's like one of those things where like when you have somebody else to keep you accountable, it is a really nice added benefit. But if that person doesn't show up, it fucks you over. So kind of trying to find the pieces of what works.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard that before. That's an awesome idea.
It's a good one. I forgot who. I've had that for a long time. I've told like different personal trainers, I'm like, you should tell people this. I was like, take their shoes. Like, whatever. You got to show up. But the name May, so my mom's middle name was May. My mom passed in, I always forget, 2021. And gave me like, one, I talk about it a lot, but a great respect for like the finitude of time. So I'm very particular. That's kind of what we talked about initially. About just what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. But I always had the intent to like use her name or do something in her honor. I like kind of wanted to open like a charitable foundation or something. Like I think it'd be so cool to like go to Target or Walmart on Christmas and just drop like 10K on like some single mom for like her family and just be like, if you need a new fridge, you need some like new beds, sheets, clothes for the kids, like let's rock. Right. So that'd be like cool end goal. But I was trying to think of what I wanted to name my business, which obviously isn't like the first thing that should come to mind, but it's something that you sit and ponder about, right? It's like, what am I going to name this thing when it is running? And I had like so many emails coming in and out, and I was calling so many people that I was like, I need to name this because I need to create a separate inbox. I need to like start to clean this up because it's getting serious. So sitting there pondering, and all these like Greek names or like Italian names, things that like big banks like, right? There's like ways you can name things in it, and it has a certain appeal to it. But so her middle name was May, Mae. And then I was thinking about what I'm doing. It's mergers and acquisitions. So I was like, mergers, M-A, acquisitions. And then as far as the stuff I was researching, it was how do I help my friends exit their company and efficiently do so? So mergers, acquisitions, exits. I was like, that is the most fucking serendipitous thing I've put together in my entire life. And I remember like it happening, and I was like, that's it. Like started to fill out the stuff for the LLC. I was like, let's go. We're in. But that's where the name.
Do you remember when you like discovered that or came up with that?
The name?
Yeah. And like the name and the concept, all of it together?
Yeah. I like was using ChatGPT to like run through all these different name filters, and it was like different capital firm names. It was like trying to think of like some of the meanings behind it, but a lot of them were like in regards to like longevity or like trust or different things, basically like stemming from the fact that I was trying to take something from somebody who has been doing it their entire lives and like carry the torch, right? So it'd be like these different Latin, Greek meanings of certain words with like capital partner,
Quercus,
holding firm,
Quercus Alba.
whatever it was.
If anyone actually watches this show, they're going to get all these callbacks. But if you're just watching these one-off, nothing we say makes sense on the sidebar.
Quercus Alba is the
I thought that was like
the botanical name for white oak, which is the wood used in U.S. bourbon barrels.
Say it again. Quercus
alba.
Sounds like something you'd hear in Harry Potter, dude.
Quercus Alba. Mikhail said that too, right?
That's what I thought.
He said that about something.
For sure. I mean, all those like taxonomy names or whatever are gonna have a little bit of Harry Potter spell to it.
Sick, dude.
More so Harry Potter.
You mentioned Greek Latin. I figured that's the closest I got.
I liked it, dude. But yeah, I remember just like filtering all these different things and looking up different names. I'd find something I liked, I'd Google it. Somebody already had it, and I kind of did that roundabout thing for a while. I found one that I liked. I don't remember what it was. Like none of them were meaningful. It was just like a name, which is fine.
Mm.
But then I don't remember why it like came up. But yeah, I like just thought May management. At some point I think I was going to use that for like real estate. Like if I bought real estate, I was going to just put it in LLC and say May management, and then that way like I just had an LLC that handled any rentals. So it's something I thought about in the past, but I like didn't think about it or bring it to this. And then yeah, it was just kind of it's like, oh my God, that works so perfect.
That's really sick.
Super sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It made me feel like I was on the right path for sure.
Absolutely.
Did the background for all of this come from like studying at the University of Minnesota? Like, did you study finance there?
I don't know.
Where did you get into this stuff?
Man, I would say I was the worst college student ever. Like I worked so hard on just getting a C. Passing. And I would do like, honestly, maybe I was the best college student ever. Like I would perfectly get
optimization of time and effort.
Yeah, I'd perfectly get a C in every class. Like I'd get my grade to the point where I knew if I didn't go to class or take any more tests, I would pass. And I don't think college is necessary. I don't think college is needed unless you're in certain occupations. I think it's a good space to commingle and meet people, right? Like I think you can learn more from the people you meet and build good relationships, and those will probably get you to the doors you need to be at. But yeah, as far as actually going to school, like I didn't like it. I feel like I had a concussion a ton of the time too. So like if I was in class, I was like sitting in the back with my head down because the lights hurt my eyes. I had a lot of concussions in college, but I did. I just didn't like it. A lot of it. I initially went to school for architecture, and I've given this example. I haven't given it in a long time, but I remember it vividly. Where there was a point where I was like, "This is dumb." I was like painting faces and like drawing flowers, and I was like, at no point in my future do I want to be painting faces or drawing flowers, unless it's like you and me drinking coffee and took a gummy or something. We're like, look at what I drew, like something just stupid. But it was never something that like I intended on pursuing, and it wasn't really gearing towards the direction of what I thought it was. I think you guys met my little brother Calvin, but his grandpa Doug was a custom home builder, and he had like a specialty or a niche in like creating secret rooms, and
Sick.
very sick. Like there was just cool things that he did, and being around him growing up, I spent a lot of time with him and his wife, and that is part of the reason that like I pushed that direction, but it just wasn't what I expected it to be. And then after my sophomore year, I didn't have the time or capacity to do design school either. Like people would come to class with like 15 iterations of some project, and I was like, I did one. I was like, I don't have an extra 40 hours a week. Like some of these people are spending so much time doing these projects, and I'm like, I'm going to class sometimes. At that point I was going to class, but then like I'm going to my workouts, I'm going to my trainings, I'm trying to spend time with my team doing like some more team building stuff. I don't have time to sit and do this, and I'm not going to stay up till midnight doing this, right? I'm going to stay up till midnight playing video games at that time. But I transitioned to just our business school. I did a generic business degree, graduated with that. It was super easy. There was maybe one class that I really liked, and it was the most laid back class, but the guy was like incredibly successful and got paid way too much money to sit and like teach us for, I think we were supposed to be there for like 2 hours, and every time we'd be there for like 40 minutes and be like, all right, I see hands on chins. Let's wrap it up. And I was like,
Nice.
I'm tired, baby. Let's get out of here. But I learned a ton from him. And then as far as transitioning to finance, there was a guy that was CEO of a firm right by campus, was friends with his son, and he encouraged me to go to an event, and he was like, I just want you to see if you like it. Same thing. Like, I don't know what most people think about like the financial industry from the outside now, but I feel like it gets like a bad rap, right? Like douchey frat bro, finance bro type thing. And I didn't really have any thoughts on it too much, but I was like, all right, I'll go to this event. I respected the person that encouraged me to do it. He's a great guy. I've learned a lot from him. And I liked the event. I like stayed for the whole time. He asked me to go for like 10 minutes, and, had people kind of pinning me up to the wall, asking me questions. And like we had just wrestled Iowa, I think the week before or something. And he's like, I had people there. They're like, we watched you on TV. You wrestled. I was like, that's cool, man. Yeah, I like it here. You guys are good people. You guys like wrestling? But then from there, I was on my own. So it was independent practice, and I owned it myself through that firm. Terrible experience, but good experience. Like one, just didn't have the capacity, the know-how, the confidence to do the things I needed to do, nor I would say the discipline from like a work perspective to like, I didn't like it enough or enjoy it enough to show up and do the things I needed to do every day to be good at it. And then I don't know, it's a weird thing because like when you're dealing with a lot of money, it's, if you haven't had the experiences doing it, you feel like you're an idiot. You're like, people are like, how are you going to tell me what to do when you don't have what I have? So it's kind of a discouraging thing, but lost a lot of money doing that. Did that for a while, spent more money than I made. Spent more money than I made trying to like appeal to people that I didn't care for, or I bought cars I didn't need to have. I would go out and do things that I didn't need to do. Was good on the front that I like learned very quickly that I didn't like to do those things. Like now I'm very much so utility over material. But after that I moved to Texas. The same family that got me into finance actually let me stay in their ranch. They're awesome. Sweet ranch. It was like a lot of fun. They helped me out a lot. It was like right after my mom passed, and they're like, whatever you need. right? Like stay here, get on your feet, figure things out. Didn't end up working out with that situation. I like really butt heads with their son, and I wouldn't speak ill on any of them, but just didn't really see eye to eye with the way their son thought he wasn't the nicest person. So I ended up moving out and jumped on with Fidelity Investments, which I feel like most people know of as an institution. Was great as far as like I needed systems, right? Like if I have systems, it's really easy for me to excel, and they're very like systems oriented. So like if you can do these things, you'll do a good job. And I'm like, done. Give me 1, 2, 3, right? So crushed, super fun. Ended up moving out to New York with them in Manhattan. Same thing. Give me systems and I'll crush. Did good out there. And then have been back here for the last couple years. Same role, same type of role, but with Schwab. A lot of autonomy to it, obviously. I can come scrap and coach and come here during the day. I do what I want to do. Dude, the job is so easy when you get to a point where like you know what you're doing, because like just talk to people all day. But it's like stuff I enjoy. I like investing. I like the stock market. I like knowing what's going on in the markets and the economy, and I like doing research on companies. But what I'm doing now with my business is very different. It's like it plays, like the research or being able to understand things plays, but it's a very different realm of business. And I just don't want to work for somebody else. So at some point,
Yeah.
I'll probably stick to everything I'm doing for maybe like another 12 months and then try to.
Be a little bit more of your own boss after that.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah. Back to.
Yeah, that's been our kind of theme here, is that like we don't work 9 to 5s and kind of, I guess, encourage, maybe not even encourage, but like it's just choices you make to live how you want to live. And I think like a lot of people have to go to work, and your skill set fits into whatever job you can get. And some people just have to go do that. But like I could go do that. I choose not to.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy the lifestyle that I get to have.
We do cool stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I get to travel a lot and
Yeah.
be around guys training all the time, and just like kind of maybe focus a little bit too much on having fun, but also like kind of with what you're saying, the community that we're around, we have a lot of really hardworking people. So
Yeah.
like we might goof off while we're training and stuff, but it's got a serious side to it, and we try to like hold each other accountable and make sure we keep busting things out.
Yeah.
Take our homie shoes.
Yeah, I like that. Man. I'm gonna steal your Monsteras. They're not visible right now, but Juice only wears one pair of shoes.
Start stealing shoes,
and
they're
like
steal shoes.
They are Monstera themed Crocs. I don't know if they're Crocs, but they look like Crocs.
They're Croc-esque.
Croc-esque.
Yeah.
Speaking of clothes, what is 345?
Oh, I should have grabbed a hat or a hoodie. Same family. I think it's from the same family. So the guy's name is Ed, and
shout out Ed.
Ed's a man. Successful dude. Honestly, Ed's wife, I think, is like one of the most impressive people I've met. Like she's just a workhorse of a human. Like there's times where we're working on the ranch and like, dude, I move, right? Like I turn my brain off and I work. I don't like have to think about it. If we're moving X to Y and we're running barrels of stuff,
pick
like
up, go.
Yeah, I'm not, take a break, go, it's like back and forth, back and forth. Just keep a rhythm to it. This one won't keep up with me. Right? It's like, you're a beast. But I believe it stemmed from him. If not, it was somebody from his business that was speaking to us one day. I can't recall. But it's an acronym to a degree. I guess I don't know if you'd call that an acronym. I don't know what you'd call that. But each thing, so 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, right? I don't know. What would you call that? A number acronym?
It's like a code.
Symbolism.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. But 3 is I love you. 4 is I believe in you. And 5 is I am proud of you. And I always struggled earlier on, not necessarily I guess it did. I always struggled like just to communicate those things. my family's a very loving family, but I'm a stubborn kid. And I was like, I'm doing my own thing. Even with people, like I wouldn't always communicate what I wanted to communicate. And I'm usually on my own. Like here, Thanksgiving, I'm usually traveling. I'm usually living somewhere away from my family. And I don't necessarily always convey the things I need to convey, or I just don't respond. Right? Like my phone, I have a few phones, but stuff gets buried if I don't see it that day. And I'll actually go back every few months where like I'll sit down. If you've ever like got just like a few month delayed text from me, I'm sorry. But like every so often I'll be like, I'm gonna sit down and just respond to everything. And some people I think like it because I'm like, I will get back to you, but I don't want to respond to something if I don't have the energy or the intent to actually respond like appropriately. So I'll just leave it. And then I'll like go through and do all of it. And like, I think there was one where I responded and it was like 9 months later and they're like, bro, you like missed my wedding or whatever it was. And I was like, sorry, but also I can't come, like I'm responding to your note now, kind of one of those things. But 3, 4, 5 was nice because my mom and I was really butt heads when I was younger. And like we couldn't talk at times. So I'd send her letters. We'd literally send each other letters back and forth or emails. But I would start to say that because then it was just my way of like, I'm not talking to you right now, or like I haven't
That's
responded,
dope.
but like I thought about you today, right?
Yeah.
So like I just send you a text, 9 a.m., 3, 4, 5,
Sick.
right? Didn't have to say anything else. It was like, no, I'm here. No, I'm thinking about you. I'm around thinking about you. So I've always really liked that. And then when I lived in New York, the girl I was dating, like I would say that to people, right? And be like, I love you. I'm thinking about you. Proud of you. All these little things. And she encouraged that I make like a brand of it. So really easy to make a brand out of 3 numbers, but it's like kind of aesthetically pleasing. So I put that together. We did like a soft launch when I was in New York, but I didn't have any community or really friends in New York. There's like a select handful of people. So I didn't really go great, but I did end up getting like merch for myself and I ended up just like rocking it all the time. I was like, I'll wear this stuff, it's like my nice message. But that's what I wanted to turn into like a nonprofit because at least we looked at a couple other languages, but like in French, it works, right? So like 3, 4, 5 in French still means the same things. In Mandarin, the character still means the same things. Different ways you can use it. But my goal was like at some point that say there was like the floods, right? Well, if those floods happen, like I could sell some of these shirts and then it would just be like, I love you. And you'd overemphasize the 3 or I love you. And it'd have like all the names in the back of the families affected. And then all the proceeds of that event would just go to those families or like some sort of fund associated to their community. And then you could do things where it was like Jiu Jitsu super gay. You could do Pride Month and be like, I am proud of you. And then you could overemphasize like the rainbow flag, right? It is. So is wrestling. But you could overemphasize that and then like just sell shirts for like Pride Month. And then whatever proceeds could be used to like host an event or given to that community in sorts. Different like shootings at schools, but that was kind of the idea or the goal is one, I think it conveys a great message. I think amongst men, it's something that like, honestly, our group of guys is probably the best at it that like I've ever been a part of. Like I have dudes tell me they love me at least once a week, right? Which maybe even more, but even that number to me is like, that's cool. Like I'll leave a practice, someone's like, all right, love you, dude. I'll see you later. I'm like, I love you too, and I will see you later. It's like, heck yeah.
I will bring your shoes.
But it is cool to have that. And we were talking about this yesterday with the Tacketts, and it's, I don't think it's an experience a lot of men get to have. One, just from the environments they're in, but 2, I think it takes an abundance of masculinity to be able to get to a space where I can comfortably be like, I love you, dude, and I like your hat,
My man.
and not feel like, I'm coming on to you. But like, well, because guys are just weird about it, right? It's like,
sure.
it's not,
Yeah.
I don't want to say something. There's a comedian that talks about it where it's like gay versus gay, right? And I really don't care what anybody is. But as far as like men and masculinity and finding that balance, like it is important to, I think, have those communities and those spaces. But yeah, it's a cool thing to have. It's a cool message to like be able to share. And I like wearing like my shirts and hoodies and hats that I have that say it, and I'll rock them sometimes. I made another website. I think I linked it on there, but it's a terrible. I need to make a nicer one. But it's cool. It's
Do
easy.
you currently have the stuff live, like merch available?
Yeah, so the site, I set it up through Printful. I want to set up like a cleaner variation, but it's super easy and it's free. So like I set it up as direct to garment.
Yeah.
So it basically, if like anybody ever wants to order stuff, they can, and everything's just hands off for me, and the website's free.
Yeah.
I suppose I could just take the leap and actually make a website. I could bug Kevin or somebody. Doesn't Kevin make websites?
I think he's a little
He
deeper
can.
into.
I'm sure he can.
Yeah, I'm sure he can for sure.
It's like drawing a sun to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, we're not all perfect. But yeah,
No, that's a
it is
beautiful message, and I agree with
That's
you.
really
And
dope.
like the thing with getting guys comfortable enough to be like, oh, I love you, man. And in my personal experience, those people that have that energy and they can like bring it to a jiu-jitsu gym or something, to me are usually people that have like lost a lot, like family and friends and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they know what it's like when you don't get to say that last thing to somebody.
Yeah.
That's kind of been my experience, but like I've definitely felt it in our group at Fight Factory and just kind of the last couple of years of with myself finally having that same kind of like
It's cool.
comfort with it,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, I can tell my friends I love them. Like it's not
Yeah.
weird to me. I say it on the phone to guys all the time, and it's like,
Yeah.
it makes me feel better because there are times where it's like that is the last time you might talk to somebody. You want to,
Yeah.
make sure they know how you feel.
It's a cool thing. It is a cool thing to be able to say and do. And it kind of goes with what we were talking about earlier, like about being able to like walk away when you're uncomfortable. But same thing, like I'd much rather say that thing that I'm thinking and walk away and be comfortable with it
Yeah.
versus regret not saying it. Which sounds weird because there's never a time where I'm like, oh, I didn't say I love you, I regret it. Like to one of the homies.
Right.
Yeah, I would feel bad if like I had somebody that I was close with and I had never said it. Right. It's like I hope that person knew how much they meant to me if something did happen to them.
The 3-4-5 like heuristic, I guess, of like you said, just tossing it out to your mom. Like you're
Yeah.
busy, you got shit going on, you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just like a note. It's like, hey, love you, thinking of you.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just 3-4-5 send, boom, and then go on about your day. Is like really dope. That's really sick.
It's thank you.
Yeah.
I like used to make it a goal to send it to like 2 or 3 people every morning. So like it would be random, but like every morning I'd be like sending it to 2 or 3 people just because like I want these people, like if they came across my mind or if I thought about them. I just called my buddy Sean. He's having a baby soon.
Shout out Sean.
Shout out Sean. Sean's awesome. But I hadn't talked to Sean in forever, right? So it'd be kind of like one of those where like Sean comes across my mind or like I see his videos, I see him coaching, I see him doing something. But like that's a very low risk, low vulnerability way of saying like, yo,
Yeah.
there it is. You don't even have to respond.
Right.
But just know like if I sent this, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler if people knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Right, so the people that do know like are typically the people that I send it to. But that's why like the initial phases of like ramping it up, if I do so, like I kind of like just the people around me knowing what it is, but I'm going to have all the text in the backs, like on the back of my hoodies or my shirts, it says, I love you. I believe in you. I am proud of you. And then at some point, like I want it to just be 3-4-5 as a brand. Cause then when somebody comes up to you and they're like, people ask me all the time, like I wear that black hat all the time. People are like, what's 3-4-5? And I always tell the same story and they're like, oh, it's really cool. And I'm like, thank you. I don't have a website. So it is cool. And then the cool part is, so J. Cole has a song, Love Yours.
Love
And
yours.
that slogan isn't, I don't know if it'd be trademark, copyright, whatever it is. So I did Love Yours, which is a period. Everything's lowercase, which I think legally I'm allowed to do, but I have to go back and probably
Wait, where do you have that?
on the back of the hats. But then like, on like some of the hoodies, it's on the sleeve, embroidered. It's just like in little hidden spaces. But
You said Love Yours is trademarked? By
no.
him?
So J. Cole has a song, Love Yours,
Mhm.
LOVE, Yourz,
Mhm.
but I did love yours with an S and a period.
And a period.
Yeah.
But you can't.
I Googled it and nothing came up. So it's like, I feel like that's pretty kosher, but
But if you were to just,
do it with a Z.
yeah, like it's 2 words and one of them's kind of fake.
Yeah. Well, I think people still could trademark that. No, if it's his song and like his saying, but I don't think, I think it's kind of universal to the point where he
Yeah.
didn't, but like the meaning and the purpose of that song, I feel like ties well,
For sure. Yeah.
which is why I liked it. Cause I was like, this is sick. This is cool. Like has a, I don't know, duality of meaning that I think pairs on both sides, but
That's really cool. I like that a lot. I've also been trying to like, I mean, it's just the same thing. Like let people know like when I'm thinking of them.
Yeah.
Or one slightly related is whenever I pick up something from somebody that like in Jiu Jitsu or on the mats, right?
yeah.
If somebody's teaching me something or has taught me something and I do the thing later on anytime in the future, like I always try to make sure they know, like
Yeah.
either in person or I shoot them a text, you know, because I feel like they would appreciate it. I would appreciate it.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like a similar kind of concept.
That's a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's cool that you do that. I think
I
the
try.
person I get it from the most is Howie. I think Howie loves wrestling.
Oh, yeah, dude.
But he'll come back and be like, dude, you got to guess what I did.
Let's go.
You can tell he's just hyped up. And I'm like, that's sick. But no, it is like one of the most gratifying things. I think if like you're coaching, right, and you see somebody hit something that you've been working on, or if there's something that like you've sequenced together and it just pairs perfectly, you're like, they paid attention.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's a cool thing because that's why you do it, right? It's like people actually putting it into play. Yeah, I forgot. You said something else, but
Well, guys, I say we wrap it up here and dig into some barbecue.
Let's
Thank
go.
you.
Shout out Fiasco Barbecue.
I'm about that.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Love talking with you.
Yeah, man.
Come check us out at Fight Factory. Catch Krone's classes on Mondays and Fridays. Best wrestling class in Austin.
11 a.m.
Best wrestling class in the world.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for watching Game Plan the Pod on YouTube. We're on all major podcast platforms. Check me out on my other YouTube channel, Cole Combat Science, and on Instagram as Cole Jiu Jitsu. Juice, you got anything?
Just we go out skill tree. Tell someone you love them.
Tell somebody you love them. Thank you so much for watching.
Tell us you love us.
And we'll be back with another episode soon. Game plan.
Game plan.
Game plan.
Shout out, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. That was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Sick, yeah.
Thanks for joining us.